was gonna try and do the
Is he
Vine.
dying or die?
I was gonna do the Vine, but I started laughing because it fucking gets me every time. What is it? We all die. You either kill yourself or get killed.
Hey everybody, welcome to bonus content.
Are we live?
It's video games. We're live, yeah, by the way.
Hey.
Hey!
Checking my phone. Professional. We're live.
That's alright, I check my phone at least 4 times.
Perfect.
A minute. More regularly. Anytime Tony talks about Black Desert Online, I'm just I wonder how high score I can get in Tetris.
It's alright. That won't happen very
check out my phone.
Hey, I'm here, Alex is here, Tony's here, Scott's here, Nobshin's here, joined by Mike Burgess.
What's up?
Who is producer. That's the title I awarded you.
Yeah, I was like, I remember when you are asking me for those like introductory little pieces for everyone on the site, and then I went there and I was like the sole producer. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, like
it just was just like, no, I like that title, but it was just like, oh yeah, I guess I am like
you're the only person who's like only a producer is the thing. And by that you're producing the Irrational Passions mixtape.
Yep. It's gonna be fire.
It's gonna be hot
coming
fire.
At you.
Mike, who are you?
What?
Who are you?
I didn't know this was this kind of podcast.
It's deep existential learning about each other.
Tell me, buddy, are you a sub or a dom?
Yeah.
Jesus.
These are the real questions.
I mean, this is not a question that you just don't answer. This was not a rhetorical question. I would like a response.
Response.
Yeah.
I would say I'm
looking at your eyes. I'll know.
I feel like I have to say dom. Otherwise, if I go with a sub, I'll be.
You will be domed.
Yeah, I will be domed.
But here's the
thing. Then like the battle starts and who is the dom.
Like
turns out Scott wins every time.
Yeah, I'm a sub. Like I'm a proud sub. Like there's a place in society.
He's a power bottom.
I'm a power bottom. I'm doing work down here.
Okay. Getting the job done in the bottom. All right.
I mean, by extension, I guess that's also true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, like a great philosopher once said, we started from the bottom, now we heal.
Okay. That's true. That's a great philosophy.
And a markedly less influential person also said, be the change you wish to see in the world. So
be the bottom you wish to see in the world.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Mike.
Great start.
For people who don't know.
So yeah, I guess like you said, I'm the now producer for the site. So I'm just joined. I plan on creating a lot of awesome, hopefully video content, and also looking to help maybe like up some production value where it's needed or wherever you guys see fit, everywhere all the time.
Yeah, I think the content is almost non-existent.
Yeah. So I did a video review back in, it was like towards early February for Monster Hunter World. I was very fun. Admittedly, I'll out myself in saying, like, in terms of video production, I'm still generally kind of new to that side of production. But I would say I really enjoyed being able to having that opportunity to start kind of making that stuff and drilling it down.
I didn't really give you a lot of choice. So
yeah, pretty much. He was like, make fucking video reviews. Nothing.
Well, I mean, yeah, in not so many words. It was more like fuck review video.
Yeah.
You also helped produce some of our Game of the Year podcasts.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I did. You guys kind of sent me some files, and I kind of helped mix them and make them a little cleaner, nicer, and help putting everything together because you guys had a lot of Game of the Year podcasts, and
it was nice to not.
It's shade time.
All of them.
Who's got the most background noise?
Yes. Well, no, he didn't edit any of ours. That was still me, and it's still you, Scott.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't done any of these podcasts yet.
No, it was the roundtables ones.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, all those guests, they probably had a ton of fucking background noise.
Yeah, they were fun. They were fun to edit. They actually weren't. it was kind of nice seeing like you could tell like the difference between like
shade to throw then.
Yeah. You could tell the people who like kind of have been doing it for a while because they like were able to. You could see very quickly like from their just production value and their, the sound quality and some of the stuff. And some people are still fairly new to that, or there's always some people in the case where maybe they just can't really afford really good equipment. So because that stuff is pretty expensive.
Or you're in my case where everything hates me, so it bumps all my volumes to max forever.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Scott's computer is actively working against his podcasting career.
They all have.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out how to make my audio stable.
I think we're just gonna have to blow up your microphone, dude.
Yeah. Just burn it, get a new one.
Or we're just gonna have to integrate the microphone directly into your body. You're gonna be podcasting 24/7.
Okay. There's one problem with this.
Yeah.
True blogging.
Windows will still fuck with the volume.
You just made up the next evolution of vlogging.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just
integrated
integrated microphones, and then it'll be cameras will be next. That'll be all of it.
What about this, Scott? We switch you to Linux, huh?
I could do that. It'd just be a real pain in the butt.
No, I would never make you do that. Where did you hear about Irrational Passions, Mike?
So this was a little bit before your guys' Extra Life stream last year, when you got the one Greg Miller on your show, which was pretty awesome. But yeah, for my work commute, their daily shows are like perfectly lined up to where I leave work, and they're up on YouTube. So they're pretty much the commute home from work every day. And they started talking about you guys, and then the main thing that popped up was like, "Hey, these guys are in Maryland. We're flying to Maryland." I was like, "Maryland? Holy shit! There's nothing like this kind of games coverage or anything kind of like that out here." Obviously, because it's fucking Maryland. And so, so I was just like, "Hey, I kind of had a career shift in terms of like I've been doing a lot of different kinds of production for 6 or 7 years, and I kind of had a direction I wanted to go in with it. Kind of hit that direction and went like, oh, this is kind of not really what I wanted it to be or thought it'd be. So I wanted to kind of veer it towards this kind of content. So yeah, passionate content, video content, stuff on the internet, video game related stuff.
Yeah. So
I just this was probably starting sometime last year, was kind of on my own, like starting to learn video editing software, different like home production recording softwares and that kind of stuff. And then last year, then probably around that Extra Life time, I heard about you guys, and it's all you were local, and it'd be a great way to like start making content in this way.
Yeah. And now here you are.
I'm here. I made it.
You made it. You made it on the podcast.
I'm so sorry, guys, but I cannot get an image of Scott as Streaming Chan from Valhalla out of my head, and god damn it, it's so funny.
What?
I mean, listen. It's just this.
Maybe you should play Valhalla, Scott, then you'd know.
This is just what Scott's going to be for the rest of forever.
There's a character in Valhalla that is literally streaming their life 24/7.
Oh, and that one. Okay.
Yeah. Her name is Streaming Chan. And she has, it's so deep into that. So like when she talks about like, hey, if you want to see me in the shower, you got to pay for the premium or whatever. And it's really good. It's funny. She's a good character. And every time she's there, you can see all like the comments of her people like floating across the screen.
That's cool.
It's good. Anyway, so now I have Scott's image as that girl in my head. And it's great.
If you want to see Scott in the shower, you got to pay for premium.
Yeah.
Are we launching
on Patreon?
Is that the reveal? We're launching our own premium
Scott streaming service.
Yeah.
Scott.tv.
I'd be into that.
TV. Scott.shower.tv.
Again, you have to be. It's $10 a month. Well, welcome to the show, Mike.
Thanks.
Welcome to the team.
I'm here.
Yeah, it's
excited to make more stuff. I have some stuff I've been working on, mostly like graphics, as you've seen a lot in the Slacks and stuff. Yeah, but I've been working on other stuff. but that's kind of been the focus of just like.
I really don't believe you because you were like, "Hey guys, I found the perfect background image for this," and it's Waluigi holding a gun. And you're like, "Let's test out all these lower third ideas over this picture of
I know
holding a fucking gun." And it's just like every time it's like I gotta look at the lower third, I gotta make sure it looks different and good, and it's just blurred out image of Waluigi holding a fucking gun.
I couldn't help it. I just like I tried to search for like an actual like because I'm exporting those like at 1080p, so obviously they would look way better over like a 1080p footage, especially when they're exported.
Yeah.
But I searched for a Waluigi. I searched for just a Waluigi picture and like didn't scroll down that far, and that picture was like there, and I was like, well.
GG guys, I found
it.
This
is fucking stupid, and it's for a mock thing anyway. It's not really official yet anyway, so fuck it. I've just been fucking around.
Yeah, so if I just type in Waluigi, I can find this.
Oh yeah, it's Waluigi just straight up holding a gun.
Just Google search Waluigi, and he has
Google image search.
Find him with a fucking gun.
It's either Waluigi Gun or Waluigi Rose or Waluigi Dom. Like
that picture really needs a subtitle that says "Cash me outside."
Oh wait, I see it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
He's hanging out, man. He's ready to
shoot
a gun. Somebody.
So is it the one that looks like a realistic gun, or is it the one that looks like a?
It looks like a toy gun.
Yeah, it's.
But here's the thing: in this blurred image that Mike is using, well, he like
because there's also one of him holding like a very realistic looking gun.
In this blurred version that Mike,
I think it's
using,
like a little bit realistic looking. Mostly,
you can't tell it's like a toy looking gun, so it's just like a very blurry image of Waluigi holding what appears to be some kind of armed weapon. And it's like, I don't know how I feel about this. He's pointing it right at me too.
Yeah, he's like, don't you fucking judge these lower thirds.
And then I'm like, I'm sorry, Waluigi, I gotta send notes still. Well, I'm excited. You're working on a lot of stuff. Someday we'll get a good lower third, Mike. I still got more notes.
I think.
For you, but...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we're pretty close on.
We're getting closer.
We have, and I would just like to get. I like spending all the time on it now, so that way it's done now, and then we can just have it. So that way, once we start, I start, and then if anybody else in part of the team wants to start making video reviews,
yeah, we just have
more. Yeah, we have just like, hey, here's some lower thirds, just throw it on, or I can change the names for you, then pass it along.
Let's switch gears. Tony, man.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Oh, just hanging out.
How was your last 2 weeks?
Pretty good. I've been playing the video games. I've been doing my hustle,
Yeah, your Russell Brand hustle.
Yeah. And basically that, video games and watching anime. That's me.
What anime?
Many.
I want the best animes. I don't want the garbage ones.
Whoa.
What do you mean garbage?
Listen, Tony. Like, I've been telling you this for a while.
I don't know how to explain it to you more clearly.
I felt like I didn't need to. Half the shit you watch is garbage.
Nah.
Damn.
Okay, so I'll briefly go over all the stuff that I've been watching for the past 2 weeks. So I am still up to date with the ones that I talked about before, Citrus, Darling in the Franxx, and the Rios Work Is Never Done, which we talked about 2 weeks ago when I was on. All of those are good. I haven't watched the new episodes that came out today, but those ones are still good. I'm up to date with Overlord still. That season 2 is excellent.
Okay, good.
It's interesting because that season 2, it focuses much more on other characters that are not Ainz, which is the main character of the show, which all of season 1 is about him. So it's kind of interesting to see more of the world and all the stuff that's going on in there. I also 2 days ago binged all of the 9 episodes up to date of Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody, which
that's a name.
Yeah. I basically just like, I need a new show, so I went on Crunchyroll, looked at shows.
Is there a
and
dream drop distance at the end of that? Are you sure?
There should be. And it was like the number 3 most popular one during the week. That one's pretty cool. It's Sword Art Online like. A lot of those animes are still coming out. You know,
if you die in the game, you die for real.
No, well, okay. I guess it's less like that. It's more like Log Horizon.
Okay.
Where it's not a like people are going into a virtual game and then they're stuck in it, or which is another thing like what that happened to Overlord. But like Death March is a guy who's a game programmer, and he goes to sleep one night and wakes up in kind of a combination of all the games that he's working on at work. And like in the first episode, the problem that he has at work is that the company who hired them to work on the finishing parts of this game were saying, "Hey, it's the beginning is too hard." And then he was mad because the game was tailored to people who want a harder experience. So he felt like if he made the beginning too easy, it would turn off a lot of their player base, that their target audience. So his solution was to give the player 4 items at the beginning of the game that would significantly impact the beginning of the game and make it much easier, but you'd get an achievement if you didn't use them. So anyway, they did that, and then so he wakes up in this new world with those items. He uses them and becomes super powerful. And he kind of is exploring this world, which is kind of a combination of all of the stuff that he had been working on. And that's basically the idea of that show. It's weird because there are some other people that are from the real world in there, but very few. So they're very distinctly non-game related things, and then there are some parts of it that are very game-like, and like the situations that he gets in that are very like this came from someone who would design a game. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's a cool kind of slightly different take on it. I feel like this whole like I don't want to call it a genre, but it kind of is of like these like immersed into video game animes. This one's pretty cool. I don't know, but yeah, that one's pretty neat. Let's see what else. There's also
that one where they're fighting with their butts.
That one's over.
All right, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
That one's still a thing. It's okay.
I finished Knights and Magic, which was one from last season. It's basically a guy who is another one of these transported to another world things that are very popular right now. Guy who really likes mecha, and then he gets transported into this world where mecha is like a big thing, and he basically gets reborn in there. So he spends his whole life trying to be like the best mecha builder pilot guy, and fucking shit up as he goes.
Don't tell Greg Blaney about that.
It's pretty good.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell him right now.
I
don't know why you would want to keep this from him.
He probably knows about it.
I think that's mostly it. Other than like, I too am watching My Hero. I am watching Boruto. I'm watching The Ancient Magus's Bride, which is a really good one I talked about a while ago. And I was thinking about rewatching Haikyuu again.
Okay.
That one's real good.
Anime kick right now.
Yeah, man. It's all good.
I've watched more anime in the last week or 2 weeks than I have in my entire life, probably. So,
damn.
Which is to say, 7 episodes of My Hero Academia and part of a Dragon Ball Z movie. Mike, are you watching anime? I didn't ask, but
I had not really recently. I found like I used to watch it a lot more frequently. I was younger, but like I don't know if it's just me now that I'm like getting older. It's like I have just less and less of a good attention span for that. So like for me, it's always like I'll try and sit down and watch an episode, and then like not even like 5 to 10 minutes into anything, I'll just like lose interest. So like that makes it even harder with anime because it's usually like most things coming out so recently. Like My Hero is like Japanese subs, so you kind of actually have to pay attention to it for a decent amount. So
listen, man,
always...
I fucking I listen to that simul dub My Hero Academia. I don't fucking play that shit.
Okay. Well, the thing with My Hero was I watched the first season back then and really liked it. And it's the same thing with lots of anime of like I watched that season and the season ends and then it's like, but I want more of it now. And then I go track down the manga and then I'll like binge and read through all the manga. I'll read through all the manga up to wherever it is, and then hit that point, and then be like, "Well, it's done." And then
I'm dead now.
yeah, pretty much. Like, and then I'll try and follow it week to week, and then all it takes for me nowadays is like it's just like, oh, we're taking a break for 1 week, so there won't be one next week. The one next week, and I'm be like, oh, I'm out. See ya. And then I'll just kind of just like not on purpose, but it'll just kind of be like, well, I kind of been following it, but then I lose interest or something else pops up and I start doing other stuff or get interested in like playing a game or something.
That sounds alright though.
So I had some more.
I thought you were done because you said it in a way they were like, and that's all I've been watching.
Nope. I got more. If you want
more.
Listen, I'm here.
I'm good, thanks.
So I've watched like probably 100 episodes of Good Mythical Morning the past week.
That's not anime. It's
not an anime at all. That's two nice men.
Rhett and Link are almost anime, I will say.
Yeah. I'd say like on a scale of 1 to anime, they're like a solid cat ears.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I watched that. I've also that's not what I want to talk about though. See now, it's not anime at all, but it's based off of. It started on an anime. There's this anime that was a couple, like 3 seasons ago called Real Life. I talked about it forever ago.
Yeah, I remember this.
And since then, I've been reading the manga as it comes out weekly. And the last chapter came out this week. I haven't watched it. I haven't read it yet because it hasn't been translated yet. As far as I know, usually the translations come out on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm super excited. It's been a really good one. So having that actually, because a lot of the time, like these longer ones, they just go, and then eventually, like they lose their audience or whatever, and they just don't finish. So it's cool for a show like this the manga that the show is based off of to actually, come to its conclusion. And it's been fun, kind of like checking that weekly and reading it every Sunday. So.
Yeah, that is cool. I've been playing Yakuza 6, which is kind of like anime.
Yeah, that's kind of an anime.
It's also like very different though. It's very. I have a lot of.
It's like.
It's almost like you interact with it.
It's like a quarter anime and more just like Japanese, like kind of pop culture. And
yeah, it's less animated.
Yeah, I get it.
But it has those moments. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So many things to talk about with Yakuza 6, most of which I can't talk about. All these secrets.
Yo, I've got more.
How much more?
This is the last more.
Okay.
I watched all of the episodes of the 7 Deadly Sims on Giant Bomb.
Okay.
Those are real good.
I think you mentioned to me that outside of the podcast at some point. I think.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. That's good, and also, I've watched or listened to all of the fucking Goku podcasts. All Systems Goku, and that's also real good.
I have as well. I've never I haven't viciously consumed a podcast that much.
Did you watch the shows and then listen to the podcast?
No, I've been because I just don't have time to watch the episodes. I've been I'll read a summary or I'll look up a couple of scenes that they mentioned. Yeah,
maybe now, if you're all caught up, maybe now since they're doing 1 a week and it's like I think they're doing 5 episodes still.
Yeah, 5 episodes is just a lot.
That's an hour and 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, but I mean that's hard for me to sacrifice at this point.
Fair enough.
But
I mean, all right. Here's what you do, Alex. You know how the show's usually 4.5 hours?
Yeah.
Cut that down to a meager 3.
We've been doing pretty good the last few weeks.
And then you have that. You've regained that hour and a half. Who is actually listening to news and gaming anyway?
Everyone.
True.
Everyone cares about news and gaming. That's everyone's favorite segment. We get all these reader mails just saying
all right,
hey, by the way.
Hey, tweet in @IrrationalPod. What's your favorite segment of the show? And if it's news and gaming, you're fucking lying.
Well, too bad no one listens to the bonus content, so that's how
it
works.
No
one
why do you think we cut it from the main show?
Actually, I bet most people would say they like the bonus content the most.
Bonus content is the actual show. Let's be real.
Yeah.
True podcast.
Listen, man, it's all about bonus content. I was gonna say something and you just completely threw me off my train of thought. I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai up through the Cell Saga, so I've been thinking assuming they get through to the Buu Saga, maybe I'll watch along with them at that point.
There you go.
I've not seen that yet. I haven't seen that. It's edited for Kai. So there's my watch along contribution. Is that it, Tony? Anything?
That is it. Unless I think of something else, but yeah, that's it.
Brian Nobshin Jackson.
Hmm?
What's up, man? What you been up to?
Nothing.
Okay. Did you watch any good anime?
I have not.
Have you watched any Marvel movies? Or what are you up to in Marvel world?
Just did Winter Soldier. That was the latest one.
How do you feel about Winter Soldier?
Winter Soldier's good. It was
Yeah.
better than even I even remembered when I saw it again, because only saw it once and remember saying, "Hey, that's a really good movie." Seeing it again, it was even better. So right now with me and Tony, my friend Tony, who I'm watching it with, it's our number 1 movie so far.
Okay.
In our personal rankings.
I feel like I need to do something with Nabashin, like just me and him together, so that next time he talks about Tony on the podcast, he's actually talking about me.
There have been times when he was talking about you, but he'll just say me and Tony, and he won't like specify my friend Tony because he'll be talking about.
I know. I'm waiting for that. That'll be like, yes, that's right. I was important for once.
He's not gonna play online games with you, Tony.
Who said it had to be games?
I'm just saying. Let the dream die. Yeah, I would say like the second time I watched Winter Soldier was also like I liked it a lot more too. It's not that I didn't love it the first time. It was just like I think you appreciate the genre-ness of it the second time around, like how spy filmy it is,
and also how not CG it is at the same time. It's, all real people, all real height, all real fights, and you feel the impact of every hit. And they do really cool choreographed shit that's kind of absent in Marvel movies, honestly. Like choreographed like fight scenes and like and there's no slow-mo in that movie at all. And that's another thing that's also like really cool. It's just like if anything something is sped up, but like you know, other than like you know, like that was a time that was in the era where jump cuts were a thing and shaky cam was a thing. So like that's still an issue. But other than that, that movie's still real good.
Yeah, that whole like boat scene at the beginning, all the fights, all the like the very quick hits in that are really great. Man, he just kicks that one guy right off the boat. It's fucking so good. Is that all you've been getting up to?
Yeah, my life is not the greatest. So here we go.
Yeah, I know. I'm just checking in. I'm focusing on the positive here. Captain America, Winter Soldier. What about you, Scott?
Another boring week. We're into that grind again.
We're in here. We out here.
We're into that. We're into that 70-hour week.
Did you get any more foot infections?
What? No. Remember how I said it was taken care of?
I know. I just was concerned. Okay.
Yeah, you know when it was gone by?
When we recorded.
Okay, so not that soon, but like the next day.
Okay. I was just like, I'm creating this recording setup where you're just like resting your foot in hot water while you're recording. Sounds very relaxing.
Oh no,
That
I had
sounds
to do
pretty
that
good.
up beforehand.
Yeah.
Alex
You do it too long and it causes problems. That's
I'm
why I
saying-
didn't.
I
It's
want
so
this.
late.
Alex just wants to think about your feet.
Yeah, that's all it is. Look at
Gross.
me. I know. I'm just a big gross man. As for me, in my life, I folks following the anthology of bonus content know started my new position at work, which means I'm working more. I'm very tired. Just want to be asleep all the time.
How is full time for you right now?
I talked about it a little bit before you.
Adjusting to it.
Yeah, I talked about it a little bit before you jumped in the call. Of just like it is, I need to adjust. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but again, I'm like 1 week deep. So like, let's not. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
Dude, it gets easier, not harder.
Yeah, I would say
gets
so
easier.
too.
But it's just like
Just getting into a routine.
yeah, like I need to sleep. Like I didn't sleep Thursday night into Friday, just because like the way I was like sleeping around those days was messy. And I was like, I got work at 9:30 in the morning. Like,
You gotta do no more naps, man.
Yeah, I gotta give up on the. I was like, it's 9 to 6, not 9:30, but I was like, I'll just take an hour nap before the podcast, and I just slept straight through my alarm. It was like still going off at like 8:50 when I woke up. I was like, fuck.
Now, what you really need is you need an alarm tied to your fan.
Yeah, sure. Like if it just turns off the fan, I'll fucking be up, man.
Mhm.
I'll be having a panic attack. I'll be in a cold sweat. No, I just I gotta adjust to. I need to sleep every night. I can't not sleep.
It's important.
On a night where I need to go to work, or on a day where I need to go to work, and just kind of getting into that routine of being awake and then going to sleep at some point, which is difficult for me. I think those are my hardest parts for now. But started training for my new position today, and that's the whole thing. So we'll see. I'll keep you all updated. We'll see how it goes. I've never done it before, so hopefully it won't be too bad. I'm trying to think of things outside of work that I got up to this week. Not too much. I kept it pretty low key because I was trying to focus on that. But let's how about we start a show? Start recording.
Nonsense. Who records?
I know.
They're not here for the show. They don't get to listen to it.
Not Scott, that's for sure. Fucking power outage takes his audio file out like a motherfucker.
It was just the string of storms we had.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they kind of just bumped us out for a while after they were fixing somebody else's power. Yeah. And because it was out for like 5 minutes, and then we came back on, and I don't even think I wasn't even around the computer when it happened. So it was out of sight, out of mind in its entirety. And I had come the time where it was time to upload, I had no idea. I had completely forgotten about the file. And when I tried to go get it, it was gone.
I get it. Jarrett Green lost power up until tonight. So and he still doesn't have internet. I don't know what the fuck's up with that. I'll start setting fires at that point.
Yeah, riots in the street already.
Yeah. He
Civilization has fallen.
He lost power on Wednesday and got it back. I mean, he's in Jersey, so it was like way closer to the epicenter. But he's like, people in my neighborhood have already started eating each other, so really, the power comes back on.
Yeah.
What's the difference? But I know I'm just giving you a hard time, Scott. All right, y'all ready for this?
I mean,
I'm trying to debate if I should go pee now or wait until the first break. I think I should do it now.
Why not both?
It's true. I'm gonna have to pee again by then anyway, so I'll be right back.
Perfect. I guess I should have the chat open.
Now I'm ready. You ready to
You ready?
shit up, Mike?
I'm already fucking.
Whoa.
I'm already halfway there.
Yeah.
Now all we need is shit to go up, like my podcast file.
Oh, too soon, Scott. Jesus Christ, man. Let me see. What the fuck is this?
Five, four, three, two, one.
Is there here? I don't know if anybody left.
No.
You
No.
all here?
We all here.
Okay, we out here. All right, on 1, 5, on. Just to clarify, Mike, we're gonna hit record on 1, not
On 1.
go.
Also, when I say go.
Don't listen to Scott. This is your first test.
The true
All right.
one.
All right, let's go.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go.
I almost fucked up too because I've been recording with Brent Range and he's been having us do it.
Close. We made it though.
Fuck, man. I don't
So,
know.
did you or did you not listen to me?
No, I got it on 1.
I
All right,
listened
we're
to
good.
you though. I almost did it on yours, Scott, and I was the one counting down.
You just said it so authoritatively.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I know he did.
Said it like a goddamn podcast host. All right.
The true host.
It is Saturday, March 10th, 2018, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I'm your host, Alex O'Neill, and joining me this week, we have Scott Guth here,
No.
Tony Horvath,
Hello.
Brian Nobishin Jackson.
It is now time for Ore Wars. Vindicated! I am selfish! I am wrong! I am right! I swear I'm right! Swear I knew it all along that I am Ore Wars!
I got you, Nobishin. I'm here for it.
Thank you.
Dude, fucking shit. Can we just take a minute? Shout out to Orwar.
I have no idea what that is.
Fuck the haters. It was a very bad bit on Easy Allies podcast that was very good. Short-lived, but it's all right. And introducing producer of IrrationalPod.com, Mike Burgess is here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey everyone. Welcome to the show,
I like
Mike.
video games.
How do you follow that shit up?
I don't know. We got 25 days till PAX.
Hell yeah, we do. We're lighting it on fire. We're burning it to the ground. We're fucking starting.
Not while we're in it though. We have to burn it outside the convention center. Otherwise,
it's probably just gonna snow. Honestly,
I mean, people call the police anyway, so I mean, we got an escape plan.
yeah, sure. Welcome to the show, Mike. You are a producer, Rational Passion.
yes, video and other
video, audio,
all that
and,
fun stuff.
graphic, with like 3 X's graphics.
Yeah, only multiple X's.
Yeah, exactly. You're at Mike hits the wall on Twitter for folks that don't already follow you. You should.
Got some tweets.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know what's up with your Twitter name, man. You're changing it left and right here.
I
don't know
I
what
was
it is
theming
right
it to
now.
like the games I was into at the time. I haven't changed it yet.
Mikester Hunter or some
Mike
fucking
Hunter World.
some
Monster
shit
Hunter
like that. Mike Hunter World, yeah. So, I'm excited. You did our video review for Monster Hunter for folks who
Yep.
haven't checked it out. They can watch it if they're watching the video version of this show. It's youtube.com/Irrational Passions, right where that is. If not, that's the URL. And yeah, it's good to have you on. We're working on some cool
Excited.
stuff.
Talk about video games. It was a good week for video games.
It's a good
I
week for
think.
video games. I mean,
A lot of announcements.
no Ni no Kuni 2 yet.
Yeah,
So really,
fair enough.
we're getting close.
Mhm.
Let's kick things off with some housekeeping. This is a lot. I got a lot to talk through, and I'm gonna try and get through it quickly. I know last week's housekeeping was long, but so like Mike said, PAX first weekend of April. Him and I will be there. Jarrett Green will be there. Logan Wilkinson will be there. George Cruz will be there. Quentin Hoffman will be there. We're gonna do some stuff. It's 4 days. It's gonna be a lot, and I mean, like, I'm excited but terrified. We're making appointments. We're getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
So look forward to that. There is some 2 big things that I want people to look out for. So right now we're selling a new shirt. It is for the folks that host our other show on the website, Input, a video games news show. It is a really cool shirt. It's a logo shirt for their show, Input. You can right now. I'm gonna see if I can get like a website post up about it, so that way you can just go to irrationalpassions.com and find a link to it. Right now, the best place is just go right to Twitter twitter.com/IrrationalPod, and follow the link there. It is a really cool red shirt that, like, an absurd amount of thought went into making this shirt, like the colors and the logo and all that. I just want you to say want folks to know. It took weeks to kind of get it finalized, but it is a shirt to support our new show, Input, hosted by George, Logan, and Jarrett. It's a really great show. It's a weekly show about news and kind of the news around the industry and kind of the more conversational-driven topics in the industry. Things like, for example, the president's meeting with the ESA this week and kind of the shenanigans that go along with that. So that's this week's show that is up right now for your listening pleasure on IrrationalPassions.com. If you buy the shirt, you support Input directly. You support Irrational Passions, and it's a really cool shirt. It's a red shirt. We've only ever done black shirts before, so this is like our first different colored shirt. I think it's a really cool design. I like the Input logo a lot. It's really simple, but it's very vibrant. So go check it out. I'm excited. It's just for 2 weeks, so you got about a week and a half from now to get it. A little over a week from when this episode goes out to still get it. So please go get that shirt. Support Input. Speaking of new shows, though, or other shows on the network, I alluded to it last week, but I have now officially unveiled my new show is a new show from me, Alex O'Neill, the host of this podcast, and it is called Get Acquainted. It is a monthly show where I sit down and interview a person. Well, it's a one-on-one interview show. Currently, I don't know if I'll ever do like 1-on-2 or 2-on-2, 2v2,
three-way,
1v1v1 roundtable interview. I don't know if that'll ever kind of be an option, but it's a show I've been working on for 2 years. I'm very, very excited about it, but I'm also like terrified, to be perfectly honest. You can go subscribe to it now on iTunes and Google Play. I just got the confirmation that it's up on Google Play now. And you can getacquainted.libsyn.com if you want to go to like the official RSS feed. It is a really exciting show. My friend Micah E. Wood did the music for it. I made the design, the cover art with a friend of the show, Roger Picorni. Kind of gave me some help with that. My first guest is Andrea Renee, who you might know from What's Good Games or Kind of Funny Games Daily. I had a really great conversation with her. And that episode will be available on Monday. So if you're listening to the audio version of that, it'll already be out, and you can go listen to it right now. And I would really, really appreciate it if you did. If you rate it on iTunes, I'm really trying to get in that new and noteworthy section. It's keeping the dream alive. And if you tell your friends about it, I'd appreciate it a lot. It's an exciting new project. It'll be going out every month, so it's not like super frequent. The first episode's an hour and 15 minutes long, so it's not terribly too long. But I have some really cool ideas for the people that I'm going to talk to on that show. But yeah, thank you to everyone on this show for kind of supporting me with that and giving me good vibes on it. So I'm really excited for people to finally listen to it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it mostly just going to be notable people per se, or would you like? Because I know like, not to insult anybody, like like Trevor probably wouldn't be a guest on the show, but like would like someone like Yusuf maybe or Michael Martin?
Here's the thing, like when I was designing the show, like I absolutely had. Like, I plan on doing a series where it's the three of the hosts of this show. So, like, it is not just notable people.
Okay.
It is... I want to do kind of back and forth of that idea. Like, I want to reach out and have conversations with people that I find really interesting or that have inspired or helped me in some direct or indirect way, like Andrea Renee. And, like, some of the other hosts or some of the other folks that I've told you that I plan on reaching out to or have reached out to. But I think the cool thing about the title and the concept of it is it's more conversation driven, and it can be getting to know people in just a different context. So
Sure.
I've left it purposefully open ended, so the scope of the show will evolve. So.
Very cool.
I will say I'm a little nervous about the first episode. Like, I'm still getting my sea legs So I don't know how well I did. I'm open to constructive feedback, not like mean feedback. But I will say like the format of the show will evolve and it'll get tighter and it'll get better as it goes on. So, but yeah, tune in Monday, the 12th of March, and listen to me and Andrew and Nay have a really cool conversation. So. It'll be up 9 a.m. Eastern time if you want to mark your calendars. And I hopefully will be able to get these out pretty consistently within the first 2 weeks of each month. So that's my plan. But that's a lot of housekeeping. There's a ton of stuff on IrrationalPod.com. I don't want to necessarily take all the time to highlight all of it individually, but 2 new columns launched this week. There's an excellent review of Florence by Logan Wilkinson. And obviously the new show. So go to IrrationalPod.com, check that out. Go subscribe to get acquainted, and go buy a shirt, an input shirt, and you'll help us out a lot. So that's it. That's everything. Let's get right into it. I know Tony wants to talk about video games so bad that
I have so many video games.
He's in a cold sweat. Unfortunately, Tony, you're gonna have to wait until after Mike.
Whoa!
What fucking video games are you talking about?
Man, I got some. Well, I got one in particular that I started playing, but then my PC broke. But I liked the game enough that I went and bought it. It's called Deep Rock Galactic. It's right now it's on Steam. It's early access on Steam, and it's on Xbox Game Preview.
Okay.
So it's a 4-player co-op. It's kind of like I'd say like the closest thing that it reminds me of is Left 4 Dead for sure. That's what it kind of reinvigorates me when I've been playing it. I've been playing with a buddy of mine. So like the whole premise of it is you're it's class based. You're basically like dwarves or like more like cyber dwarves. And you're going
space
into
dwarves.
Space dwarves.
This was the Space Dwarf game from Microsoft's E3 press conference
last
year.
Mm-hmm. And so basically, you're basically going to these randomly generated maps, and they're all different kinds of like maps. So there's like jungle, kind of underground mines, and like they're like supposed to be kind of like underground. All of them are kind of themed to that, but they have kind of ones that are like jungly, filled with vines. There's one that they're like lava. It's like a whole bunch of them. They're all randomly generated maps, and the whole premise is of you're supposed to go in and mine different materials, and once you mine a certain amount. You have a little robot buddy that follows you around, and then you trigger basically a like escape back to your escape pod. And usually when that's triggered, you get swarmed by these like weird kind of spider looking alien creatures. There's all different kinds of ones. There's like ones that are like climbed onto the wall and like spitting acid at you, and there's like giant armored ones. And basically, that's kind of where like the Left 4 Dead inspiration comes in, where like whenever like those are triggered, you just get like in like this insane huge swarm, and like it's usually like you have to kind of be no matter what you're doing, if you're just kind of mining or something, like it immediately becomes like, all right, we have to stop everything we're doing, we have to pitch up here, and then we just have to fight and survive. And that's where like the classes come into play, because there's 4 classes. They each kind of have like different kind of weapons, but they also have different kind of traversal weapons, and that's how they kind of interplay, and that's how it really goes deep with like the co-op. Like that's where the game really shines, I think, from what I played so far, because it's just been only me and one friend. But even so, like I was playing an engineer and he was playing a scout. So the engineer, he can place turrets, kind of like engineer from TF2 or like Torbjorn from Overwatch. He can kind of place down turrets, and you kind of have to like feed him ammo every so often. He has that, and then he has just like a shotgun, and then he also has a platform gun. So it's basically a gun you pull out, and you can shoot at kind of like a wall or a surface, or like over a cavern, and it'll shoot out and attach to the near surface and make a platform you can stand on. And so that really plays well with the one my buddy was playing. He was playing a scout, which the scout is kind of like a speedy. He has like a little assault rifle. And then he also has a grappling hook. So like basically like at any given time, like if we're trying to mine the particular mineral we need for that round, like if it's up on a high wall that I can't reach, I can shoot a platform up, and he can hook hook shot or grab hook up to that onto my platform I created for him, and he can mine it all out. There's like stuff like that, which is really cool.
Is it one of those things where if you are playing with just one other person, are there two AI companions with you?
No, when it's just two people, it's pretty much just you two guys. You can, if you play solo, you dig. I know you have. It's just you by yourself. You get a little drone buddy that you can kind of control around, so you can kind of point him to stuff like that. Where it's like, oh, that stuff's up there, and I'm playing a class that can't get up there easily. You can just kind of send your drone up, and he'll grab it and bring it back to you. Because like whenever you're collecting those materials, there's like another little like weird spider-looking robot that you're like dumping the materials back in.
Is it one of those things where you all have to play a different class, kind of like Evolve?
No, you don't have to. They, as of right now in early access, it does. You can stack and play multiples of the same classes, but they do really play off each other well. So like the one of the other classes, which I was just trying out earlier today, is like kind of like the more general. It's just a gunner class. So he just has like a big minigun, and he has a not a hookshot, he has a zip line. So he can kind of, he pulls out this little zip line gun. You can shoot it to a wall and it makes a zip line, and anybody in your team can use that, and you can use that like in any direction. So you could like kind of like shoot it up, and then you can jump on the zip line and kind of go up like a kind of like an elevator, I guess, or you can use it to like get down on a higher surface or across a gap, and anybody can use it. And you can also use it. I was using it to like, if there was a similar thing where if there's a material on a wall I can't reach just by like jumping up to it, I would just shoot a zip line to where the material is, jump on it, ride up the zip line, mine it all out, and then just come back down and just keep going on my way.
That sounds all right.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's like, and even though it's in early access and game preview, I think it being a game preview kind of bumps up from like usual kind of early access, where like I didn't really run into like a lot of crazy bugs. Like it has like a kind of really cool vibe to it, and like I think the reason it's in early access is because it's like they seem like they kind of have the foundation now. It's just like adding content onto it, because a lot of the stuff now is, like I said, it's just randomly generating missions for you more or less, instead of like I think there's like 5 or 6 different kind of, I guess, biomes or like environments you can choose from, but they're not always like available at any given time. So you're kind of like unlocking missions out because your characters can level up, and you can they'll have their own like miniature skill trees for like, you can get better armor or you can upgrade a particular weapon.
Okay. I will say, just because it's in game preview doesn't necessarily mean it's like up from the bare minimum of early access. I played the trial of the Subnautica game preview. I didn't even mention on the show because it was just like a goddamn disaster.
Right.
Like it was like to the point where if I turned around, and I'm playing on an X, so like it is not necessarily something where it's a limit of the hardware. It's when I turned around, like the whole screen would go green, and it would not, like, if I went into the settings and then like reset one of the visual like layering settings, it would be fine for a little bit. It would like reset back to normal, and then it would just happen again with maybe like a pink color instead. So it's just
yeah, because I had a similar thing happen in this game too, where I downloaded and played it on the game preview just starting this morning, and like played it for like a couple minutes just to kind of get past, because there's like kind of like an opening tutorial before you can start playing with other people. I did that and then kind of put the Xbox to sleep, and then came back to it later, and it was a similar thing where I like turned it on from the sleep mode, and then it was like it like dropped frames like immensely, like it was super weird. And I just restarted the game, then it worked fine. But yeah, that seems like there's still probably some things, because then that's why it's in game preview or early access. But it's cool. It's $25.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Yeah.
I saw it. I just I didn't know, because I remember them showing it off at E3 last year. I just didn't know. It seems like a game is difficult to play by yourself. So
yeah, I would say it's doable, but it also, yeah, like there's also times where like some, like, because it's of it being randomly generated, there was difficulty, as like when I was playing as an engineer, it like you could be kind of caught in this giant cavern, and you kind of have to like meticulously dig your way up and kind of make makeshift ghetto ass platforms, while my buddy is the scout and he uses a grappling hook and he's just like, see ya, and just kind of like grapples like up the thing in like 5 seconds, and you're just kind of alone. Then it seems like that can be unfortunate, like depending on what kind of is randomly generated.
Okay. What else have you been playing?
Well, since I played that at the start of the week, but then my PC died, pouring out for my good friend.
Do you know what the issue was? We know it's not the
Um,
power supply.
well, that's what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
So at first, and then I bought a new power supply and installed that new one, and then that didn't fix the issue. So I was thinking it may have fried some stuff, but I couldn't tell. Like it wasn't booting, nothing was starting up. I just wasn't getting anything. Period. So I just kind of was just like, the thing's like 4.5 years old. So I think it's just kind of
Just rip that
yeah,
graphics card out of there and
just running its
move on.
course, and
Yeah.
I've been starting to build that thing. So in that, I don't know, because I know you guys are some Kingdom Hearts nuts over here.
Some fucking weebs out here.
Okay,
So
maybe not that second one.
Well, I didn't want to go on a deep dive, so to speak, on it. But sorry.
You're either being promoted to editor or you're fired. It's one of the two. For Tony's sake, let's not go too deep. But
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like I planned on kind of replaying through the games this year just in anticipation for 3. So I just kind of ended up starting doing that this week. So I pretty much played through all of the original game and even started going towards the platinum of the game.
okay.
So I was doing that, and I still, that game has a lot of nostalgia to me. And
Namashin, you ended up getting the plat for the first one, right?
No, I have not. The only one I didn't get was the gummy ship ones.
you're right.
And now it's like it's on PS4 now, so it's like it's time to start all over.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at with Kingdom Hearts 2, so I feel you.
yeah, because I just looked at that trophy list and I was just like, holy shit, that's like a whole other
The
level.
Kingdom Hearts 2 one's not that bad. It's just
Like compared to the first game though, like the first game ones like aren't that bad. Like I pretty much the only ones I have left for that were like the subsequent playthroughs of like beating the game on the hardest difficulty and
being
beat
on the
this one.
easiest one because it's like, why would you do this?
Yeah, and it's like beat the one that's like what is it? Like you have to do it without changing equipment or whatever.
Yeah, you have to use the original Keyblade.
Yeah, so I haven't done those yet just because I didn't feel like playing through the entire thing again.
Now,
But I will do this at some point.
I need to know, Mike. This is the Kingdom Hearts questionnaire. What's
Okay,
your
great.
favorite Kingdom Hearts game?
I mean, I like 2 a lot still. I know that's like always the cop out answer, I feel like nowadays. But like I there's stuff in 1 that I like way more than some of the stuff in 2 just because of the nostalgia factor.
Okay, is it the MP bar that you like the most in 1?
Uh,
I'm asking for Scott. I'm trying to represent all fields here.
I mean, I wouldn't even go specific. I would just say more particular. Like there are specific moments in
This before
Kingdom
the
Hearts.
story got all fucked. Yeah, no, I got
Yeah,
you.
look, yeah. Well,
It's good fucked.
yeah,
man.
yeah. I was gonna say like it's fucked, but it's like anime fucked. So like, there's. Look, I will
We're
say
here for it.
this. I don't know if this will come off as a hot take, but whatever. Fuck it.
Okay.
I think anyone who says like Kingdom Hearts is completely fucking bonkers and ridiculous, and then go and say like Metal Gear is like this piece of art, I think are ridiculous. I think Metal Gear is just as fucking ass bonkers of an anime thing as Kingdom Hearts is. The only difference is Kingdom Hearts is like in a fantasy world, so like why would it fucking matter that any of it makes sense anyway?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, to a degree, so
yeah.
is Metal Gear, and I'm not even saying that in terms of. I'm not even saying that in terms of, haha, this is all video games. It's like, no, there's things in Metal Gear that are clearly impossible.
Yeah,
It's the whole. This is sci-fi, magic sci-fi.
yeah, but there's vampires, but it's nanomachines.
whatever.
No, I mean, like that's. I think Namish and I have always been on the same page of that as well. Like
Cool.
Kingdom Hearts, Metal Gear, it's all just
It's it's
yeah,
anime.
I love them both.
Yeah, exactly. Like
But
I
I
like
get
them
it.
a lot too.
I think the big thing is like there's like 8 Kingdom Hearts games and there's only now 5 Metal Gear games, but like 4
that's true.
really that are like kind of off the wall.
Yeah.
Like Metal Gear Solid 5 is less. I would say it's less crazy and there's also like less story to
Mhm.
boggle down with.
Great
But,
game, not a great Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
I mean, narratively, I think video game wise though.
Yeah, that's basically what I mean.
Yeah, I got you. I just don't want anyone to misconstrue.
Yeah.
What I'm not done, Mike.
I know, that's okay. What do you got?
Listen, have you ever beaten Sephiroth in any Kingdom Hearts game?
I literally just did that earlier today. I beat Sephiroth in 1.
All right, I'm fucking
Lance Bass, my boy.
Like like I did to get the plat in Kingdom Hearts 1, you have to like basically like collect everything. You have to beat all like the side bosses. You have to like get Sora max level and like synthesize all the items and all that crazy shit. So like I've done all that, and I basically did all of that and then went and just fucking destroyed Sephiroth instantly because you have such OP stuff by then.
I guess we'll just skip right to the final question. The most important question.
Oh shit.
Kingdom Hearts 3, 2018. Are you a true believer?
I'm a true believer.
That's right.
I'm ready. I'm ready
for it. Yeah. I'm saying it makes sense. I absolutely could see it coming out in March of 2019. I'm not saying that isn't
they'll pull like the fiscal year thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying I believe it's time.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Red Dead 2, you better watch the fuck out. Drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts is here.
Sora and Smash Brothers.
Oh fuck.
All right, that's all. I'm glad that you're getting into Kingdom Hearts. What else?
I would say the one other thing in terms of ranking, I would say 2's high up there, but I would say one which some would disagree with. I would actually put Dream Drop Distance kind of high on my list because I don't like some of the like animal stuff necessarily. Like that's fine, but I like the implementation of like the weird kind of like traversal aspects and stuff. I think that's cool that they tried to like do more than just what was there, and
yeah,
it's obviously limited by it being 3DS, but you can clearly see they've taken what was there and now we're putting that into 3, and I think that's cool.
No, I think some of the mechanical stuff in Dream Drop Distance is really cool.
Yeah, I like it for that aspect.
Yeah,
more so.
There's a lot of parts where it's like, okay, like clearly this could have been better implemented, and you
yeah,
feel
for
a little
sure
bit of that in like the fragmentary passage prologue.
Yeah.
Where it's like, here's the Kingdom Hearts 3 engine, and here's like what we learned from that.
Yeah, totally. And it's like, hey, we actually have like a way more powerful system to actually do this right kind of thing.
Yeah, and fucking particle effects, yo.
Yo.
Boy, Nabishin, how bummed were you when you saw that bit in that latest trailer though?
Wait, what?
With
what?
the Dream Eaters.
Oh, Dream. Oh, yeah.
I know, man. It's just one part. It's just like some summon bullshit, dude.
Yeah, more than likely.
You just never have to use it. What else have you been playing, Mike? Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second.
Not much else other than that. I tried out that Kirby Star Allies demo on Switch.
I tried that.
Well. Yeah. What did you? Cool.
Yeah, it was fine. Like it
it's Kirby.
It felt like Kirby. Yeah. It seemed like there was maybe a little bit of frame rate jittery.
Yeah, okay. I saw that too. Yeah.
I thought that was just me.
No, yeah. It definitely felt like they were just. It wasn't like in really intense moments too. It was kind of like with the movement felt a little.
Yeah, I kind of totally felt the same way about some of that stuff. But like, it definitely feels like, you know, I like the 3DS ones. Like they were kind of like way simpler. Like this definitely seems like a step up from those, but it's still kind of just like, you know, it's not gonna revolutionize Kirby games.
Yeah,
you can kind of tell from that demo,
which is a bummer. Like the thing I always forget, because like I've played the only Kirby game I've really played. I guess I've played 2, but it's like the original Kirby's Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even the original. The original one was on Game Boy, but the NES Kirby game, or Kirby's Adventure, and then the N64 one. And it's like I always forget.
Crystal Shards.
Yeah, I always forget until I play Kirby again. It's like, man, like the movement speed is so slow. I
just wish it
was faster.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you played Epic Yarn.
I never played Epic Yarn. I watched my roommate play.
Or was that your roommate?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I enjoyed Epic Yarn a lot. Just
I was gonna say I actually didn't play Epic Yarn.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a Woolly World guy. Y'all know where I'm at with this. Boy, I want them to make another Wool game. Like, I don't know what they would make. A Wool Star Fox. I don't know, man. Cute Star Fox. That's
Wool F-Zero.
Yeah, oh, fuck.
It's coming at you.
They're like, we have a new F-Zero. And everyone's like, oh, it's like I just made a wool. Burn to the ground. Oh man, Nintendo.
I want the amiibo to be like a wool Blue Falcon, like it's like a Blue Falcon car, but it's made of wool.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, like I like some of the stuff they're doing in Star Allies.
Yeah.
Where it's like I can make friends and like you can like hold up a sword and let's say you have a fire friend, he'll blow fire on it, and then now you have a fire sword, and it's like okay, I've made this kind of like combo ability.
And it seemed, at least from like I was kind of, they didn't really, from what I was telling from that demo, like they didn't really make it like change up the combat, but it seemed like it was more for puzzle sakes because you could do it like you said, you can make the fire sword, or you can make like a water sword or an ice sword, and like it seems there's all kind of elemental stuff you can do.
Yeah.
But it seemed more just like in like maybe like traversal and puzzle solving more than like this changes up the combat in an interesting way, which that's never really been a big thing in Kirby anyway. So
it seemed like it'd be really, really fun if you did have 3 other people to play it with.
Yeah.
Because like Kirby's never, it's not like New Super Mario Bros. Where it's like, all right, 4 people is just too much. It's just kind of like, it's not hard. It's just, it's pretty slow paced too.
Yeah, you literally have infinite jumps.
Yeah, so you know, like having just a bunch of people to just hit enemies and have a good time with seems like
that also seems like the issue. Maybe like you're not getting the full effect of the game playing it on your own, because I was totally noticing like in that demo where you fight the DDD boss, and like there was like one time where I was like he's like swinging around pillars, and there's like then it like cuts you off from your team, so like 2 people are on one side and you're on the other side.
Yeah.
And DDD was just kind of on one side that I couldn't get to him, and my 2 buddies literally like basically took him out for me because they were just sitting there fighting all the time. I was just kind of on the other side, just like, well, this is cool, I guess. I'm just here on this other side watching my dudes fuck up DDD.
Yeah, I just played the first level, not the second one, so that was with the tree. I like how the tree got big.
Yeah.
And then it started jumping around. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Fucking jumping tree.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like a Kirby game.
So. Yeah, I'll probably pick it up on Friday. Check it out for sure. Good Switch.
You got one more on here though. Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yeah, man! I just can't get over how good that freaking remake looks. Like yeah, I don't even have a Pro, and I'm just playing on standard PS4, and I still think it's like, man, this is like this. I have to stop every time. Like I boot it up again, and I just I played that game back on PS2, and then realizing how much of a up like graphical, like, and just not even just like in terms of visual quality, but just the amount of more detail there is in everything is impressive. And I'm glad that game got that kind of upgrade and just remaster like that. I think it's deserving of something like that, and I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, I know it's like, man, Blue Point.
Yeah, Blue Point.
Sorry. There's too many like developers that are just blue and then some kind of object or lack of object. Blue Point, like they've definitely proven like, hey, next thing they do, maybe they should just do their own game, and they're like technically a sound studio, but I also kind of want them to just go back and like bring up a lot of the classic games so they don't get left behind. Like it's
there's definitely games that deserve the treatment they gave Shadow of the Colossus. But yeah, like you said, that I think it'd be totally cool to seeing that remake definitely makes you think of like, man, what could they do with their own thing? And
yeah, they make pretty things
for sure.
Is that how you've been playing, Mike?
Yeah, pretty much. Mostly a lot of Kingdom Hearts this week. Then that's
fuck yeah, dude.
Gotta keep going with that probably.
Heart of all worlds, man.
Yeah, man.
Tony. What's up, man? Video games. Tony's just like, I left. You guys are talking about Kingdom Hearts.
It's fucking out of here.
I'm fucking done with this shit. All right, well, if Tony's just gone, then Scott, what about you? Video games?
Nope.
Do you play anything?
Not really, no.
I
have Into the Breach.
You have Into the Breach. You had it as of last recording.
And it's like what happened this week, and it's gonna be probably into next week too, because I have a test coming up.
Okay, get ready.
I get home and I'm like, it's time for fun, and I eat, and I'm like, fun time's over.
My fun this week was eating. Yeah, I get you. Someday, Ni no Kuni 2's coming up. It's creeping up. Final Fantasy 15 is on PC. Scott suddenly got all these video games.
I have all these games to play, and this is the time to play them is gone. It's gone.
It's all right. That's how it always shakes out. All right. In the meantime, I don't know how much I have to add with my game, so I'll knock mine out real quick. I've been getting back into Overwatch. I talked about this a little bit last week. It's nice to just, it's my competitive multiplayer game. I play a few matches every night. Sometimes I'll maybe play for an hour or two. I just really like that game.
Yeah, it's easy to do that with that game. Just load it up, get a loot box, and be like, oh, that was good for tonight. I got something.
Yeah, I like
done.
the Dan Reichert strategy of playing until you get a loot box and then maybe calling it a night. I really like Overwatch. It's still good. I like a big thing, and I meant to mention it last week. My thing with how Mercy is now, because they made some changes since the last time we talked about it. Obviously Mercy's Resurrect is gone and whatnot. The way they had it originally was Mercy has her Resurrect every 30 seconds, but if she pops her ult, Valkyrie, it resets her Resurrect timer. And her Resurrect timer during her ultimate is, I think, 15 seconds instead of 30. So basically, she could get 2 Resurrects off in her ultimate, or she could do one before her ultimate, pop it, do it again, and then by the end, the cooldown will have subsided, and she can do a 3rd Resurrection. So now all that's gone. Basically, it's like Resurrection is always 30 seconds. You pop your ult, doesn't reset the timer. So it's frustrating because I'm in this position where before with Mercy, I knew I was a good healer with Mercy, and I could feel good about using all of her abilities well, or at least well enough, like to get by and to feel like a strong support. But now, like, because timing is so important to how she does it, and like I'm still kind of learning that, I feel inadequate in that role, and it makes me want to play it less. Which is frustrating because, like, that's my main character. So put over close to 100 hours into that character alone. In like the 200 plus hours I've played Overwatch, half of it has been as that character.
So what you're telling me is Overwatch said get good, and you're like, no.
Well, like, I'm trying. Like, it's not like I've just given up, but it is very much those situations where, like,
yeah, you have to. It's a larger change, so you have to adjust to that change. I didn't even know they made that big of a change. They got rid of that Resurrect. Wow.
Yeah, and I guess people were saying like it was too broken, like with Valkyrie itself and her resetting the timer. But like I don't know, like it gave her at least a little bit of an edge. And now like the Resurrection is different now too. Like the actual ability, it takes like a full couple of seconds for her to resurrect someone. Like you slow down and you have to stay near where they died, and it takes like a full, I would say like 3 to 4 seconds to charge up, and then it resurrects them. And since you were basically helpless in this moment, like it makes the ability way harder to use in itself. So it's not just timing of the ability, it's like positioning of your character when you're using it, etc., etc. So it's not that like I've given up on playing her. It's just like I feel less good about like how I'm performing with that character versus like before where I felt very confident and like I'm Mercy. I know I'm doing a good job healing the team. But like that's helped and augmented by Moira is like a really interesting healing character in how like aggressive she has to be a good healer. Like she needs to charge up her healing ability by attacking other player characters, and so there's a give and take into it. I'm really excited for Brigitte to come out because I think I like playing tank. I'm just like not good with the tank, so like a tank support hybrid, I feel like I can carry enough with the support part of that maybe I'll get better as a tank player, and then I'll have a character that I feel really good with. So and hopefully she'll be out within the next week or so.
Yeah, she in the PTR right now.
Yeah, she is. I would, man. There have been a number of times where I've thought about getting Overwatch on PC just to play PTR characters,
right,
before they release the console. And now I'm in this weird spot where I've just been thinking about getting Overwatch on Xbox.
I was gonna say
I'm honestly at a point where I play, say for like I'm playing Yakuza right now on PS4, but I play mostly on Xbox now. Like I've made that kind of switch. I don't know about you, Nabashin.
I'm pretty much the same way.
Yeah,
honestly.
which is it's like honestly, it's nice. Like I just like challenging myself to trying something new, and I really love my Xbox. Like my PS4 doesn't sound bad or anything, but like it is definitely like it is a video game console that makes noise versus my Xbox One, which is just like this silent assassin. But yeah, like I talked to you about this Nabashin, like with where I'm at financially going forward. Like I'm planning on getting a 4K TV within the next couple of months. So
same.
Yeah. So like I'm
Team 4K.
Team 4K. I'm ready to be ruined, Nabashin.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you are too, Mike. Join.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to build a PC first, so that's gonna be.
You've got an
pricey.
Xbox One X though.
I do have an X. Yeah.
So you've got something that can utilize it one way or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about.
Now hold on. Were you about to say that you need to build the PC to use it, or is that just another priority you had?
That's just another that's priority number one over
I miss
4K.
So
Yeah.
But more than likely, if I want to make the 4K jump too, I'll probably
get
look
a 4K
into
ready PC.
Yeah, more than likely I'll
get on that
at least
Final
look
Fantasy
into
15, like
4K.
looking into a window 4K level garbage, like
Yeah,
fucking
Jesus.
bonkers that game looks on PC.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go that far just because I have I'm pretty. When I got my Xbox One X, I got 15 there because it was on sale at the time. So I'm pretty deep on there.
That and like if you wanted to get a 1080 graphics card, you'd have to sell a kidney at this
Yeah,
point.
seriously.
So.
I was looking at not even 1080s. Like I was looking at kind of parts to build, not to like go off course too far, but like I was just looking at 1070s, and even those are like $600-$700. It's like,
yeah, man.
That's that almost doubles like the price of like a PC build on itself now.
Yeah,
it's insane. And then RAM too is also starting to go up. It's crazy.
Bitcoin miners, man, they got to make that money.
It's miserable.
But yeah, I'm excited I'm embracing my Xbot life. That's just all I'm saying.
X-Boys.
One of the games I played last night was Sea of Thieves. And I just can't imagine how good that game looks with HDR on. Like, it was already like one of the most colorful, beautiful experiences I've ever seen. So
nice.
Just like someday. But yeah, so I've been primarily playing on Xbox, so debating getting Overwatch there. But speaking of playing games on Xbox, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition out on PC, but the Royal Edition expansion available for.
Okay. So there's an expansion for it.
Yeah, it's $15. I thought it was $20, but it's $15.
Cool.
And at some point, like Microsoft just gifted me $5 Microsoft bucks. I don't know what I did. I got
You're a good dude. You bought an X. You're a very good dude.
They gave me a Lego Batman because I bought an X.
Hell yeah!
I don't know if they gave you this. No,
they did not.
But which is weird because you had given me the copy, so I was like, well, now I got two. It's like a UHD version of Lego Batman 2, so it's like a 4K. But of course, like then the next month, it's like, hey, buy an Xbox One X, get PUBG for free. I'm like, well, fuck. Would have much rather gotten that for free. Just say Microsoft. But now I've jumped back into Final Fantasy 15 to see the Royal Edition content, which I luckily only had to pay $10 for. I'm basically Microsoft is slowly slipping me money under the table to just get me more on brand with them.
Play some games.
But so that's a really cool bit of content that they put out. It definitely feels like a expansion. They added more stuff than I thought they were going to, I'll say. So like I would say the two big things, like now you can use the boat in Final Fantasy 15 from chapter 9, where you get to sail around on a ship. So now you can drive the ship around, and you can fish. You can park the boat anywhere and fish off the back of the boat. And fucking Noctis gets so excited about that. I'll let you know. He's like, finally. Oh, imagine all the fish here. And Prompto's just like, I guess
Out in the ocean.
I guess I'll just take a nap because I have literally nothing else to do. But what's cool is, like, you know, there's a lot of dialogue that they add in for the just sailing around that wasn't there before. And the guys are just like walking around the boat while you're sailing around, and they're just doing stuff. So if you park it, like Gladio and Prompto are like arm wrestling or just hanging out, and like Ignis is reading on recipes or something, or they'll move around and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. And there
It's
are
a real nice touch.
It's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
There were a bunch of photo ops that they added for when you're sailing around that are all very good. I tweeted one of them. I don't know if you saw it, Nabishin.
Oh, I missed it.
There is the statue outside of Altissia, where it's like pointing in one direction. If you take a photo op in front of it, it's all four of the guys standing in a row, all pointing at the statue. It is real funny. I tweeted it out, so you can dig it up. But there's another one that is equally as ridiculous. But so yeah, there are multiple out there. Apparently, there's like a sea monster somewhere out in sea, which terrifies me. But I saw it in the trailer for the expansion. Big thing that they really added is they completely reworked Chapter 14, which semi-spoilers.
14?
Yeah, Chapter 14.
Okay.
Where you go back to a specific area of the game, go back to a city in the game, and it's just totally different now. Like, it's just like from the ground up, completely different, which is cool. Like, it is. There are like a lot of things in that section that are actually referenced back to Kingsglaive. You see a lot of the parts of the city from that.
Do you see characters that you haven't
yes, you
want
do.
to see in the future?
There's like a whole bunch of stuff, man. Like, you get to see everybody's favorite character, Core.
Okay.
You hear a lot more about some other characters. There are side quests and like a little base of operations added to the city there where you get to talk to people and do a bunch of stuff. And most importantly, so it's like a dungeon. You know, they basically added in a new dungeon, which is what they propose it as if you look at the DLC stuff. But there's a whole bunch of cutscenes and stuff. One is like a full CG cutscene, like the big ones from the game. That is like really crazy. And they also bring a very important character back just for a moment, just to kind of give you a little bit closure with that character where you didn't get that much closure with her in the main game.
Isara.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Oh,
no, it's not. Not her, I'll say. It's, which I was like, man, boy, there's a lot here. But a big thing about that dungeon, that city that you kind of get to explore, is they added a bunch of secrets in it, but they added a bunch of new bosses there that are like post-game bosses, like above level 100 bosses that you can kind of go back to and fight. One of which is fucking Omega Weapon, which is a Final Fantasy kind of trope. There are no weapons in Final Fantasy 15, save for Diamond Weapon, but it's not called that, and it's Diamond Weapon from Final Fantasy 7, so it doesn't fucking count. And you don't even see it in the main game. But yeah, they have their own kind of twist on a Mega Weapon, and the founder kings of Lucius. So like the old kings of Lucius, I think there are 3 of them that you fight. They all have their weapons from that you collect throughout the game too. There might be more than 3, I don't know, or less. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but yeah, it's really cool. Omega Weapon is a motherfucker, I'll tell you that. I just popped in to see what that fight was like, and it is a very tricky fight. The music they have for it is phenomenal, though. There's a whole bunch of new music in this expansion. So yeah, like as far as like there's new cutscenes, new interactions with characters, like more closure on some characters. There's a really great scene with just Noctis kind of talking to people. It's good stuff. It is just more kind of. It reminds me a little bit of what they added to Chapter 13, but I would say, like, as far as the additional scenes and stuff that they've added to that game, this is some of the strongest that they've done. And I really liked it, so. It is cool. It's $15. I think it's totally worth it for that price, for what you get. The other big thing I almost forgot to mention is basically once you've collected all 13 of the weapons, the armaments of Lucius, your armature mode, I think that's what it's called, is changed. You have to go find an accessory that's like hidden in the world. I just looked up where it was because I was like, man, I played a lot of this game. And basically you equip that, and when you go into the armature mode, it is like totally different. It is stylistically and gameplay like more like that original announcement trailer from Final Fantasy Versus 13, which is kind of weird and crazy, where like Noctis is walking down that steps to that big cathedral, and like all the weapons like appear out around him. That's what this is. So it is like really cool. It adds like a whole bunch of new combos and stuff, and it basically makes you unstoppable. The only difference is it makes a couple differences to the armature itself. Like if you were in it before, basically you couldn't die. Like even if your HP went all the way down, it would stop at 1 and you could keep comboing even if you were like taking damage. With this, if you hit 0, you'll be like knocked out of the armature mode and like put into like your recovery mode. But the big change is the armature bar goes down super, super, super slow. Like I would say it probably lasts about 10 to 15 times as long as it did before, which is to say minutes versus seconds. And you just get a ton of new abilities. It seems like it makes Prompto, Ignis, and Gladio like do nothing for that time though, to kind of make up for that. But you can do some fucking rad shit when you kind of unleash the armature now. So, and it's only once you have all 13 weapons for it, and it's only once you find this accessory that you have to equip to do this. So. It's cool. It is a significant expansion. So I'll say that.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's not bad for $15. Like I said, I understand. Like, I think Tim Geddes said this. Like, Final Fantasy 15 went from the game that would never come out to the game that wouldn't stop coming out. Which I get it. Like, most people have reasonably moved on from that game. But if you we're looking to get it on Xbox or PS4 if you hadn't gotten it before, or like a lot of people I'm sure going to get it on PC. It is there's a lot of really cool stuff in that game now, so enjoy. I played a lot of Yakuza 6. That is probably the game I've played the most of this week. I am unfortunately at a point where I can't really talk about a lot of the stuff that I really want to talk about. I believe my review should be up. I don't know if I could. It should be fine. It should be up Friday, this coming Friday. So, I want to do like a video review, like a big whole thing for it. I don't know if I'll have time. I was gonna see if you can help me out with it, Mike, maybe at some point, but we'll see. I have a lot of save states so that I can go back and record some footage.
Okay.
But that game is very good. It has some issues, but I am enjoying my time with Yakuza 6. Boy. I have so many things I want to talk about. I want to pick your brain, Nabashin. I want to bounce some things off of you. Just because, like, I have, like, questions, kind of, but here are a couple of questions that I can ask. All of the Yakuza games, I guess including 0, is it all in Kamurocho, that, like, one city?
Yes. It always comes back to that city, I should say. That's more of a better answer for it.
But have there been other like locations that you can walk around?
In Yakuza 0, you can go to I forget what it's called, but like it's a totally different district.
Okay.
So like pretty much what Yakuza is about is going back to Kamurocho. So it's like kind of back in the city again, but like you get so familiar with that city, so it's like, oh, this is the same place I go to get my shopping done, or do my karaoke, or do my host club stuff. It's you could say it's like recycle, and it kind of is, but like it's familiar, and it's like it's nostalgic, and it's just all the great things about like coming back to a place that you've been to before. It's like Shadow Moses again and again and again. I guess I don't know.
Okay, I get that. It's just there's like a location. There's a different location in Yakuza 6. So you spend a significant amount of time in. So I wasn't sure if they had done that before, or if this is kind of like a new thing for that series. So
Definitely in 3 there was a different location, and in 0 there's a different location.
Okay. And boy, there are a lot of mafias. Like, there we got triads, we got yakuza, different families of yakuza, clans, alliances. There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot of antagonists going on in Yakuza 6. And yeah, there are a lot of things that it kind of reminds me of just like some dude just getting in all the wrong business. Like, boy, how did you wind up here, huh? how are these crazy kids gonna get out of this one? So yeah, Yakuza 6 is that's a video game. Also, like, just getting to know Kiryu, I have so many questions, but also, like, I kind of don't want any of them answered. Like, he just glowers at people in a way that is like the most intense shit I've ever seen in my life. And it's like the voice actor that plays Kiryu is like the greatest. He's just like, even when he's doing something ridiculous, it is just like poetically well delivered, intense, and great and epic.
How has that been for you? Just in general, like,
it's been super weird. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because this is like the first actual game I've played in Japanese.
Right.
I played a few hours of Tales of Vesperia, which was weird in its own right, and like the intro of Tales of Hearts R. But this is obviously a totally different thing. Like, it is an anime game, even though it's like implied. But it's weird.
Like, do you see the quality of it, though?
Absolutely. Like,
okay.
That comes through way more, and, like, the way it's translated is really good. Like, you go to, let's say, like, a southern part of Japan, and the way they convey the fact that they have, like, a heavy southern accent, I say, like, a different dialect. I don't know what the dialect is actually called in Japanese. But, the fact that they are speaking with an accent in their language is conveyed to the player very well. Even though I can't really tell just listening to Japanese, which is cool, and it's cool seeing those characters like juxtaposed to like city people that speak a little bit more properly, and kind of like the traditions that go with that. I'll say, like, it has been fascinating just kind of seeing, because like anime is like this characterized version of Japan, whereas like I feel like this is trying to at least touch base with a little bit more of a pure view of Japan. Obviously you're playing a fucking washed out non-ex-Yakuza character, so like it's here and there, but like more so than anime, let's say. So yeah, I don't know. There are like mechanically, I really like the game. I think it's a little like button mashy. I've not played a lot of the combat before, but like I love the way you get experience in this game. It's such a weird little thing. Like, you have like 5 stats that you get individual experience points for, and you get like tons of experience for each. Like, you get in a fight, you get like 15 of like strength, endurance, and evasion, like of that stat, of each of those stats. You eat to get experience. You have to do whatever to work up an appetite to get experience, but that happens like super quickly. So you have like a stomach level that you can like upgrade. So like you have 0 out of 100 for your stomach, so you can eat up to 100 points of food, and that will give you however much or whatever experience each of those foods give you. And then you can either dump all of those different experience points into upgrading your stats directly, like strength, or evasion, or defense, or you can use them to purchase like abilities, like different combat maneuvers, or heat maneuvers. Like, you can go into like a super mode and do extra powerful attacks and whatnot. So I like the way that it doles all that stuff out, and how you can kind of save up experience and whatnot. And you're just like constantly getting experience. You're like fighting a bunch of punks on the street, going and eating a bunch of sushi, like you order way too much in these restaurants, and then you just like get tons and tons of experience, go out, fight more, and it's a good loop. The game has a good loop on it, and there's like a bunch of mini games that you can do too. They're great. I said like last week that you can just go, if you want to play Virtua Fighter, it's just that's all that's in this whole game. So but there's like other stuff. There's other mini game layers that I'll talk about next week that are just so weird and crazy. But yeah, it's very cool. I will say, like, one of the things that's kind of a bummer is, like, the cutscenes are all phenomenal, and, like, when you're kind of in the story and, like, seeing the interactions between these characters, it's very great, but pretty much everything outside of that is just, like, very stiff, dead-eye mouth expressions and movements, which is a bummer, just because, like, you get it so good that you want it so good the whole time.
Right.
And it's fully voiced, which is cool, though, so... those are my only real nitpicks with it. I don't think I'll have many nitpicks outside of that in my review too. There might be stuff that crops up. Some of it is a little weird, but yeah, it's
for sure. And even those ones are like I think there's still like a quality to it, more than like most games that do like in-game cutscenes, because it's like you can see like the way how the text like goes with what they're saying, and like how it's like immediately keeps talking what they're saying. It's not like their mouth keeps moving after the text keep going and stuff like that. You know, like just I feel there's quality to it, but you know, it's still I know what you mean though.
Yeah, it's a little more stiff than I think that, though. I will say, like, just in my experience, a lot of like wide mouth movements, but they do line it up pretty well. And like I said, the voice acting is universally like it sounds good. It flows well. There are some awkward silence moments, but outside of that, which I remember that like from Angry Joe's Yakuza 0 review, like some of these weird like long pauses. There was just this one scene in like a side quest that like Kiryu is just kind of like his head at an angle, and somebody asked him something and he just didn't respond, and it was like one of those things where he didn't want to give himself away, but he's just like staring deadpan. It's like, oh, so it was. It kind of like overboils into this unintentionally humorous bit, but yeah, like as far as like my first Yakuza game, I'm having a great time, and jumping in, like it is definitely very much it's a kind of separate story. There are characters that come back and they reference some stuff in the other games that I'm pretty aware of now because of the thing it uses to kind of catch you up with what's going on, but it introduces like kind of like a ragtag new group of characters that I'm a real big fan of, so. I like the crew that they have in this game. The only other thing I played was the Sea of Thieves beta. I didn't play a lot of it. I finally hooked up with my boy Nato Johnston, somewhere out there. Most valuable guest, Irrational Passions, one of them from last year. Just gotta give him that shout out every time. Stroke that ego. We went around, fought some pirate skellymen, hoisted a sail. That is like very much like a pirate sim. More than it is a pirate game, but like in a good way. It's fun, it's jolly. They've added a lot of stuff to the game to make it kind of like this is their last beta, I think, before it's released on the 20th or whenever it comes out. And it's cool. Like it feels. I don't know how that game's gonna start and how it's gonna kind of introduce its concepts to you, but you know, like you're on like one of the civilized islands. The non-dangerous zones, and there are different quest givers with different styles of quests. Like, hey, I have one where you're gonna go like follow a treasure map and find treasure, or hey, I have one where you need to deliver something or trade something with someone from another island, or hey, I have one where you're gonna go fight pirates, and these are the kinds of quests that I give out, and you can get multiple quests from each one, or like I think you can hold 3 quests at a time, I believe, and so you can get one from each or all 3 from one, whichever you want to do. So it seems like a fun way to do it. You know, obviously it's a very particularly paced game. There's a lot of like sailing. There's a whole lot of sailing. If you like Wind Waker, boy, I got good news for you. A lot of sailing, like going back and forth, like marking the map, actually following a compass, you know. A lot of specific stuff like that I think is actually pretty cool. So, Nato and I also tried to do one of the raids. There's like, not like Destiny raid, but they're like big. I guess they'll alternate throughout the days or the weeks. Like this big cloud, skull-shaped cloud will hover above an island, and it's like, all right, hey, there's a pirate raid, or there are a bunch of pirates on this island, but there's a lot of big loot there. So you can like sail toward that, and you can see it like anywhere in the world, just because it's this giant skull-shaped cloud, and go there and fight a bunch of pirates. We tried to do that. We did not succeed. There were only 2 of us after all, and our ship got sunk, but it's all right. We did all right for ourselves. That game seems really cool, and it's very, very pretty. The water in that game looks fucking incredible. So yeah, and just like jumping in the water and just seeing everything that's under it, it's just so much detail. It's like fish, and there's pigs on islands running around. There's chickens. It's crazy. That game seems really cool. It is one of those things where like I'm gonna get it, and I don't know how much I'm gonna get out of it. Hopefully I'll have a good amount of people to play with. It seems like a thing that won't be a lot of fun without people, just because like the actual act of sailing a ship, you're alone. Like you get a small ship, if it's 1 to 2 people, and a big ship if it's 3 or 4. The actual act of sailing a ship, there's a lot of you're running back and forth. You're like lifting the sail itself, and then you're also angling the sail with the wind. And then you're also steering the boat and laying the anchor. Like all these are different moving parts that you kind of have to manage. So doing that on your own, having done it a little bit, is not great. It's very taxing. It's a lot of stuff to do, and like it's very tedious. It's very cool though when you are working with somebody else and you don't even have to say hey, tilt the sail. It's like somebody just goes and does it because they know what they need to do. And like I imagine if having people manned to different parts of the ship, and just kind of having that planned out, I can only imagine how good that feels. I'll say. So it seems cool. I'm gonna play a little bit more of it this weekend, so we'll see how it goes.
It's nice to hear you say that there's like some kind of structure to it, because that was my fear. Was just like up until now it seemed like there was just kind of like, I don't know, you're pirates, but it didn't seem like there was like a structure to it, which like in some ways is fine. But I personally would have preferred, like you said, like there's like actual quest givers and they can give you stuff. So that definitely makes it a little bit more appealing to me, at least.
They've been talking about that too. Like they put out a trailer kind of talking about the structure. I don't know if there's a story to the game. I imagine there will be. It'll probably be something pretty loose that's not too serious, kind of like Destiny. Destiny 1, I speak more to. I think Destiny 2 takes its story a little bit more seriously. But they talked about like after you hit max level, and Nato was telling me about this. Like you become like a pirate legend, and you actually get your own like island.
Oh wow!
You can get different islands depending on like which factions I think you max out, and how much money you want to spend on it. Like and the way you sail your ship and park it there is different. Like apparently one of the islands that you can get once you're max level is one where like you have a hidden cave and you sail your ship out through a waterfall in order to get the island. Like full Batcave style. And I'm like, fuck man, I hope that's real.
That's pretty cool.
So they have like end game stuff kind of already planned out for that.
That's good.
So yeah,
cool.
It sounds cool. I don't know what you do at that point if you're max level.
Right.
But those pirate raids seem like they're gonna fluctuate and change. There's always PvE. You can just see a ship on the water and it's like, all right, we're gonna go kill those guys and take their boot.
Kill those nerds.
Their booty, I should say. But yeah, the game seems cool. I'm excited to play. Hopefully, we're gonna get a crew of 4 together, possibly tonight, and play some. So, Tony.
Hi.
Hey.
Are we done with Kingdom Hearts?
Oh, we finished with Kingdom Hearts a long time ago.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I just sounded a lot like Kingdom Hearts to me.
Did you want to talk about Kingdom Hearts?
No.
Kingdom Hearts.
What are you playing, Tony?
So it's this new game. It's called Black Desert Online.
I swear to God, Tony.
That's it, dude.
All right, just BDL.
Yep.
All right, man. I see these trailers for Black Desert Online that make it look like a fun video game to play.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm just like, I don't know, but like it's like action trailers where like they're.
But then it's like Tony likes this game, so I can't.
So I can't.
Yeah.
It's the rule,
dude. I'm gonna try it when it comes to Xbox One. I've committed to that, but I just don't know what's gonna happen. Like I don't know what's gonna happen to me at that point. Will I die?
I mean, I guess that's fair.
Yeah. Will I love it? Who knows? Nabishin.
Yo.
Video games. Fill me with video games.
Not too much different. Yeah, not too much different. Beat Mass Effect 2. That's been great.
Shadowbroker DLC, very good, I imagine.
Yes, still one of the best DLCs. This is the Winter Soldier of DLCs.
There you go.
But yeah, that was real good. So Mass Effect 3, I'm pretty much like maybe 4 or 5 hours into that now. That game's weird, but weird just because like it's been a while, and just going from like 1 and 2 to go straight to 3, it's like because like it's just a bunch of stuff I just forgot about it. Like I forgot there was an option in that game to like take up all the decisions in that game, so you just pretty much have like a cinematic experience. So that's why there's only like 2 options for everything. Is either like up or down, or upper right corner, upper left corner. So it's either like a good response or a douchey response, I guess you could say. And like the investigations, as far as like going more in depth with the conversations, has been limited in that game. So I was like, that's like just interesting. It's not necessarily a negative. Well, it is a negative as far as like that's what I'm used for Mass Effect, but it's more of like, oh yeah, like I forgot this was a thing. But it's not intrusive or anything like that. Like I'm still enjoying it for what it is. Getting used to seeing my characters again. Like I pretty much I just re-saw Jack again, which was great. Seeing her new design, like her little hair ponytail thing, which is cool. I don't know, like there's nothing really to talk about it yet, but like I've been enjoying it again. Like I'm happy to see Cortez and Trainer again. Like I haven't seen them in a while. I haven't really just like interacted with them in a while, so it's like, oh yeah, I like these characters a lot.
Yeah.
Vega is
James the Situation Vega. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, James is still just like he is that character for that game, but like he's okay though.
He is okay.
Yeah.
He's like bad rap.
Yeah, like it's just Jacob, and it was just pretty much just Jacob who's the unredeemable one.
I feel like James does take a good turn by the end of it.
Yeah,
like
he James grows on you. Yeah, like he's trying to be a Spectre and everything like that. He's a hothead at first, kind of like how Garrus was in the first game, and like he eventually learns to like how to control that and be the Krogan that he is. I guess you could say, even though he's not Krogan, but like, I'm just saying like he
Krogan
is.
at heart.
He is your Krogan in that game. So like yeah, like it's cool. Saw Ashley again, which is cool. She got beat up by Eva. Like I forgot about that scene too. It's like, oh yeah, like because oh man, dude, we'll kill her off right then and there. It's like no, no, it didn't happen. It's just like remembering everything, and like that's been like that's just been cool about it again. Just like I said, it's been so long. I've forgotten everything. So like going through the motions again, and like go through the Citadel again, even though it's like not as big as it was in Mass Effect 1, and it's obviously bigger than it was in Mass Effect 2, but like it's still just condensed and it's still suffocating because it's like it's not as that it's exploratory as it was, but it's still nice to go through all that. And obviously that game is heavy as fuck, just like with the themes and stuff like that.
How I'm curious, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but
no, you're fine.
How is the kind of like Shepherd Dream stuff working for you now that you've kind of you've had some time?
It's still bad. It's still just something I just don't enjoy, and because it's very much something that's like taking is for something that's like as intimate as Mass Effect, and where you feel like that's your character and stuff like that. Like it does feel like something that's taking the controller out of your hand. It's like you're experiencing this and you're feeling this. It's like I should be someone who feels this way, not like naturally. Not like I said, this game feels very cinematic, and you can tell this by the way it plays and presents itself. But like I said, the choices are very limiting, and like and it feels like it's just something that there should be just a cutscene rather than just like something you can like actually like engage with, which is a bummer for that game. But like I still really enjoy it. It's just weird decisions with that game. Like all your side quests are just like pretty much you just eavesdropping on other people talking. So you're like walking by somebody having a conversation, and you like kind of just creep along and just like get slightly closer so like a mission could pop up in your corner, and then like you do the mission, then you come back to them. It's like, hey, I overheard what you were saying to the corner by yourself. Like, you didn't even intend for me to even do this, but like, here, I got this thing for you. And I go, oh, thank you. That's weird, but thank you. So it's just like it's just a lot of things it could do better. And like, like the interactions in that game is also like limiting as well. It's like anytime you talk in Mass Effect, you get these like the game changes to like a conversation type of thing, where it's like you talk to this person and the camera will switch by to talk to that person, and like you have this like one-on-one dialogue. And now it's like it's kind of just like you're talking to them, but their back is always turned to you because they're always doing something else. So it's like it's not as intimate as it was before. And sometimes it gets there in some parts of the conversation, like when I'm talking to Garrus, like we're talking about Paladin and about like and like talking about his family and stuff like that. That's when we get to like the one-on-one conversations. But like after I do a mission at like the Grimsum Library or whatever, and then I go talk to Garrus, it's like he's just like calibrating and everything like that, and he's just like talking over his shoulder while talking to me, and it's just like this is not really like a good like I feel like I'm bothering you. Like we're not really having a conversation. So that's also kind of a bummer.
Yeah, like there were really good moments in like Mass Effect 2. I remember where like sometimes like when you're about to go into a conversation with someone, like maybe like walk like a little bit away from where they were, or you like sit down with them and you have a conversation, even if it's like brief.
Yeah,
it does go a long way. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and I understand it too, because like they're still trying to like engage you with a conversation with somebody, because like the way they did it in Mass Effect 1 and 2 is just like you would go and talk to them. And it's like like it had to be like an actual event that happens, like a big event to happen for them to actually have somewhat of a conversation with you, like let's say Miranda, for example, like the first time you meet her, you talk to her, find out who she is and stuff like that. It's like, okay, cool. The next time you talk to her is she asks you to help her with her sister. The third time you talk to her is like she thanks you for helping her sister. And the fourth time you talk to her, you can have like a relationship with her if you choose that way. And anytime you talk to her after that, you won't have a real conversation. So in this game, it's just like anything that happens in the main game, you can go and talk to them. But it's like, they just didn't want to like put the effort into like having like an actual like conversation to it. So you just go there and just hear their thoughts on the situation, and that's pretty much it. But you get dialogue, you get good dialogue. Like anytime you talk to Garrus, he'll give you like his just being Garrus remarks, and like you love that. Just cause like, oh, I like hearing Garrus, like hearing his conversation. But I just missed that one-on-one type of conversation though. But it makes sense.
I don't think it does.
Like, I know what they were doing with Mass Effect 3. Like, they were doing that thing where they're like, hey, you can still play this, right? You can still, I know you might not have played the other Mass Effects, but you can still play this one. It's just like, and it was also like a very different time where they were different time for EA where they were trying a lot of new things. But like, some things worked in Mass Effect 3. I think a lot of the payoffs still worked, and I'm curious to just kind of hear your perspective as you're going back through them. And I think the multiplayer worked. I know, like, say what you will about it, but I thought it was a cool mode and for what it was. And
agreed.
Yeah, a lot of people love that game.
Yeah, and I had a lot of fun with that multiplayer playing it. So like, they tried some new things. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. So
yeah. Collector readiness is still not the best thing.
Yeah. Do you still have that app that you can download?
I tried to download it. I can't do it. So everything's just gonna be 50% because I'm not gonna play the multiplayer. So.
But it's fine too.
Yeah, I've literally done everything in the other game. So like I'll get 100% regardless. So it's not a big issue. And also Jessica Chobot's in the game.
Yeah, that's right. Right. She just shows up.
and like I said, like I said before, like it's just like the only thing that's really bad and offensive about it is that she takes a room in the Normandy.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It just seems like this could have been because it was Zai's room, and it's like this could have been for somebody else instead of you, or like. So it's like that's the only like real issue I have with it, but like cause like you meet Kasumi and she's there and she's like, oh, I'll help you with your mission, but she's not actually on the Normandy. And like I told you about the first time I played that game, where I thought she was still on the ship, but I didn't know because like she could cloak herself. I was like, oh, she must be on this. She must be cloaking herself. So I'll see her eventually. You know, I never see her in that game again.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay.
Man, Kasumi's mission in Mass Effect 2 is so good still. Fuck. How's Javik?
I haven't got to him yet. I was
Okay.
gonna wait till Tally until I do
good
his
call.
mission.
Good call.
It really makes more sense to wait till Ashley's on my team to do that, but I'll do
Yeah.
Tally.
Just do the Ashley Tally combo.
No, Liara has to come.
Oh yeah, it's true. Liara freaks the fuck out.
Right.
Yeah. Still great moments. What else you been playing?
I beat Bayonetta.
Hell yeah, you did. I saw this
Nice.
tweet.
Yeah. Like it's so funny too, because it's like if you task me like any day, it's like which one's my favorite, Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, and it's like it always flip flops like constantly, and it's just like because I've beaten Bayonetta 1 again, it's like oh yeah, like the end sequence with her dancing is great, and like anytime like she goes against a boss, they have these like the boss has this one-on-one monologue, and Bayonetta's being the badass, and just like he has a smart remark, so shoot him in the face or whatever. And like all these over the top sequences, it's like yeah, Bayonetta 1, that's so great, it's so good. Like it's harder to do like most of the stuff on there, but like that game is so good and so much fun, and it's so great, and it has so much personality. It's like yeah, I love that game. And then I start Bayonetta 2, and it's like that's just that opening cutscene is just like it's so
good.
It's real
fucking
good.
good. It is
So
everything
good.
about that game.
It's the only part of Bayonetta 2 that I've seen, and it's real good.
Yes.
It's crazy and it's over the top. It's so funny and it's so like it's everything that game is in that moment, and it's just so great because like you're fighting on a jet plane, and like you see while you're fighting on the jet plane, you're just flying all across the city. So like when you're playing a game, you don't really realize what you're doing or what's happening, but like you're like literally like dodging through this jet plane's dodging through buildings while you're on top of it fighting just a bunch of different angels. It's like it's a crazy scene when you're like not like engaged with it, and then like there's this part with the train, and then like on the side of the building, and then this like all this stuff is just happening, and it's like it's just so cool. And like I just love the character of Bayonetta. Like it's so good. Like that's why I'm hyped about like 3 and everything like that. Obviously because it's Platinum Games and everything, but like it's just the character of Bayonetta I'm just so in love with it. Like she's so cool, and just like anytime she's on the screen, I'm just like it's 100% focused. Like I just love it.
This is gonna be a total complete tangent. It'll be quick, real quick. Just for your reference, Nabashin, because I think you'll get a kick out of it. The McElroy brothers, Justin, Travis, and Griffin McElroy, they've started like a anthology series of podcasts called The McElroy Brothers Will Be in Trolls 2, where they're doing a podcast declaring that they will be in Trolls 2 in the hopes that somehow it causes them to actually end up in the movie Trolls 2. For reference, Trolls, a DreamWorks production starring Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick. Very weird movie about the trolls, troll dolls. Anyway, Justin McElroy found out that they were YouTubers in the original Trolls, so he's like, if YouTubers were in it, I could do this. So he's like, we could get in Trolls too. The most recent episode of the podcast actually came out this week. They interviewed the actress that plays Korra in The Legend of Korra. Who I guess is a friend of theirs. And it's a really funny episode where she just shits on them the whole time. It's very good. But also just like hearing Korra in her voice, just like shitting all over the McElroy brothers was very good for me. So speaking of favorite female characters,
Okay,
that was where my mind was.
Okay,
Just so you know, it's a very, very, very big stretch, but here we are. Anyway, back on task. How's Bayonetta 2 look on Switch?
it looks great. Oh, I should mention by the way, like by the end of Bayonetta 1, like it got so framey that like I had to put it on dock mode because like the frame rate just wasn't really working as far as portable mode anymore.
Okay, but
So,
it was
like,
okay on dock mode?
Yeah, dock is fine. Dock is fine. You still get like close to 60. Cause like it gets really insane as far as like cause it was around when I was starting to fight John, where it was like it gets insane cause like you're fighting on top of like missiles and like It's crazy. Like, missiles that are destroying the city. Like you're just jumping from one missile to another while you're fighting John. It's real cool shit. But like yeah, it just like got like below like 20 or something like that, and it's like yeah, I just need to put it in dock mode, and then I played on there. It was fine. Yeah, Bayonetta 2 is still great. It's still...
I imagine Bayonetta 2 will be a better port just because it was optimized for it. But
yeah, I think so too. I was considering like playing through Bayonetta 1 again on Xbox One X just to see like how.
Oh yeah, see. They have not. They should do a 4K update for that just to see.
I checked out the Witcher 2 one.
I did too.
Yeah, that looks real good.
Looks really good. Nice smooth textures. Really good aliasing on that. So, and the performance mode is a good 60. So,
is it 60?
Yeah, it's more than 30. It might not be a full 60, but
maybe it's locked on 30.
I feel like it was too smooth for 30, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to get like I only played it for like a full 2 minutes, so I'd have to go back and like actually look at it. But it's just it was I don't know. I'm sure you went through this, so you've not really played The Witcher 2, but I went back just to see what it looked like on this mode. But I also went back to it before just to see what like man. I remember they changed the UI so much. I haven't replayed Witcher 3 before. It's like boy, fucking Geralt's character model has changed a whole lot, hasn't it? Just the whole thing, man. But I still like The Witcher 2 a lot. But as an aside,
I've been considering like trying to like figure out how I want to get through those two games. The first one.
I want you to play The Witcher 2.
I know.
Just for the Triss stuff, like really, like that's the big stuff for me. Because I feel like you'd really connect with it a lot.
Yeah. Like maybe one day I'll just get me and Katie will just like power through that, just put it on easy and just to see what happens.
It is a difficult game. If you put it on easy, I feel like you'll have a jolly time with it.
Yeah, I think that's probably what we'll do. Like eventually, she gotta get through Mass Effect though.
Get all that Philippa Eilhart shit, man. She's a huge character in that game. You only see her for like 15 minutes in Witcher 3.
Yeah, for real.
So, what else you been playing, Nabishin?
I beat Asura's Wrath on the blind gauge mode, so like now I just need to beat you hard. And then I'll have
where did this? Why didn't you tell me?
I mean, what?
Anytime someone plays Asura's Wrath, I just want to know. I just want to connect with it.
It was just random. Like I just wanted to play one of my favorite games. So like and like I was like midway through. No, I was like maybe 3 chapters away from like beating the blind gauge one, because like that was the thing that was like keeping me forever from like actually getting the platinum, because like beating the hard is gonna be hard enough. I'm just gonna have to get all S's and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like I just wanted to get through the blind gauge mode, which I just I won't have any gauges on the screen. It's just like the plain screen right there, so I don't know how much health I have left. So that was like the struggle there. I just had to beat the game with that, and now that I got like the ultimate gauge, where it's like I could do counters. I think I have like not unlimited burst, but like I could do my counters like automatically now. So like that like going through hard mode like a fucking breeze. So like I'm in the so I can like actually play through that game again. And I intentionally didn't pay too much attention when I was playing through it, because like it's been so long since I actually beat Asura's Wrath. So like
was it? Did you start on the chapter where you're like in space, and it's just like No, that's the beginning of the game, isn't it? Like
that is the beginning of the game.
Fuck, man.
And the end of the game.
And it's the end of the game too, so that's why it's confusing. But fuck, man. Yeah. Just every time I think about Asura's Wrath, I get excited.
Yeah, so like if I can actually get this because like my shit's all fucked up now, and I got
hold on. Ask a quick aside.
Yeah.
Every time you say that, it's like I should probably give this game a shot.
I don't know.
But then I remember you like Deadly Premonition so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, maybe not.
I feel like Asura's Wrath is easier to. It is a better playing video game than Deadly Premonition. But there's not much of playing it, right? Like you're kind of just along for the ride, and you're either in or you're out. I just don't know how in you would be in that, Scott. It is fun though.
I'd probably be so out that it's not funny.
Yeah, it's not a long game. Is the nice thing. It's like 6 to 7 hours long or whatever. So, but yeah, I don't know if that would be your jam, Scott.
Is it backwards compatible? Is that how you guys are playing it?
No.
You're breaking out that PS3, aren't you?
Breaking out the PS3.
Yeah. I'm waiting for it to be though, cause like
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind. Cause like it gets hitchy on PS3, so like I'm pretty sure that will smooth out on the EX, and I would greatly enjoy that.
He's really pushing the PS3 to the to the limits of its ability.
Yeah, fuck The Last of Us.
Fuck The Last of Us. Oscar's right. Game of generation.
True. Yeah, true next generation.
Fuck, man. We really fucked up not putting that on our list.
Speaking on about the X though, like God, man, like backwards compatibility is a thing that is underappreciated.
Dude, it's the greatest shit.
It's so good, and that's why I've been on mine for like pretty much the most of this year. Like I could be playing fucking Monster Hunter, but I'm playing Mass Effect. I'm playing Bayonetta. So
you're chasing your bliss, man. You
do
it.
And like I've been looking at it. It's like, oh, Revengeance is backwards compatible. I should play that, and like all the stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, there's few investments I feel like I'm very happy with, and like the X is actually one that I'm super happy with, because I just bought Coco, so I have 4K and HDR, which is like emotional and crazy and good and beautiful. So like actually seeing that on a 4K TV is awesome too. So like. But anyway, it serves wrath. Like I said, I intentionally didn't pay attention to pay too much attention when I beat the game again. So like if I can get my shit set up right, hopefully I plan to like stream me getting this platinum on hard mode.
Hell yeah.
Mostly just because I want to get into a schedule again, because like if Kingdom Hearts is coming out this year, I had to beat that game. I had to beat Final Fantasy VII before then. So like I'm trying to get like in a scheduling streaming mood. So like which I haven't been in a good while. So like so I'm trying to develop a routine. So like I'll try to beat all the Surge Rap, and then I'll try to do this Final Fantasy stream.
I'll say like too, like you can blow through Final Fantasy VII.
You say this,
but like the PS4 version of that game has like the kind of easy mode stuff built into it. If you get stuck on anything, I'll say.
I'm not a plebe.
I know you're not a plebe, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want you to get hung up on anything, so. That's all.
I mean, the only thing I'll get hung up is the visuals, and that's it.
It's true, you're just screaming the whole time, like, why are you so ugly? Is that it? Is that all you've been playing?
Man, just more Shadow of the Colossus.
That game's rad.
Beat the flying snake thing.
That's also a rad Colossus.
Yep.
I beat the water snake. That was the catfish water snake. That was the last one that I fought.
That one terrified me, like in the original game.
Yeah, me too.
Just that dark abyss.
I have like a thing about like just like sea monsters. Anything that is big enough to eat you alive whole. We've talked about this a lot. I know none of the classes.
You're into vor.
Mouths. No, I'm the opposite of
No, he's very into it.
No. Whatever. I'm vorophobic.
Vorophobic. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a break. A lot of games. I know. A lot of good games right now. Guys. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got some news to talk about. And maybe we'll take a couple of. I don't think we have any questions this week, but that's all right. We got a nice meaty show. Got a lot of news to talk about, so we'll come back, talk about that. Take some bets, make some bets, throw the show out. That'll be it. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Cool.
So if you need to refill your water, Mike, whatever you want to do it now.
All those things.
Let the recording roll in the background.
Got it.
on.
Hell yeah. Power on.
No.
That's what I say when I take my pants off.
Jesus.
Tony, what are you up to?
Oh,
What do you
nothing.
do on a daily basis? Do you just like just fucking take a token, drop it right there in the spank bank?
What?
You heard what I said.
Specifically a Chuck E. Cheese token.
Yeah, it's the only token that fits.
It's the only token that has real monetary value.
That and the Atari Bitcoin.
Yeah.
About bitcoins.
How many Bitcoin real life tokens can you fit in the spank bank?
As many as I will fit.
Hell yeah.
Always spanking.
Always spanking. Spank the monkey.
I wouldn't go that far.
All right.
I would.
Just no spanking a monkey, but just regular spanking.
Yes.
That's
That's unethical.
The fuck out of that monkey.
Feeling good.
Feeling good. Feeling like 2 a.m. summer night?
No, feeling like I had to hella pee.
Dude.
Now I'm feeling it.
You were right, Scott. I did have to pee before the show and during the show, so. I guess Scott's not here, but he was right.
He has to hella pee too.
I mean, you just gotta get out sometimes.
This guy's holding up. I'm proud of my surface.
Yeah, didn't blow up yet?
No, I mean, like, I'm gonna be curious to see because it was give me some weird things when I was capturing footage earlier, just because I wanted to mess around with it. But it came out fine. But excuse me, I was just fucking around with it, seeing how it would do. Because I mean, like, I've used it pretty much for all of the, like, I've reviewed all of the monsters. I did all the editing and graphic stuff I've posted so far, like, on this. So, like, all the After Effects stuff, and I've edited all together, all the Monster Hunter review on it. So it's been doing good.
Good. What are you giggling about, Tony?
Someone sent me some stupid shit. That's all.
Okay.
Some hot memes.
Were they dank?
No, you wouldn't think so, but I thought it was funny.
Damn. Fucking so accusatory. Scott.
Skip.
Excuse Scott.
Rest in peace. Pour one out for Scott Guthier. Everybody in chat.
Hello?
Hello. Nicole said she was so excited that we were recording.
Dude, I'm always excited.
Me too.
It's an exciting time.
I was super excited last week when we were recording.
Yeah, clearly. You were excited not to fucking be there.
Got him.
Got him.
God.
Got you. Cameron says hello.
Hello, Cameron.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't know. Cameron was saying something about being shot at.
Oh.
In
Whoa.
Sea of Thieves.
Oh, okay.
Like
That's the same thing. We're just like, whoa, shot. Oh, God.
Scott has Into the Breach, Cam, but he hasn't played it yet. I will hopefully play it at some point.
Same. I'm waiting for either a good mobile port or like a Switch port or something.
I'm not gonna wait that long, but
I've been looking
I'm
at.
okay. I'm okay with waiting for one of those.
I've been looking at that game called Slay the Spire. I've been hearing some good things.
Ooh,
I
I
might
heard
check
something
that
about
out
that.
soon.
yeah, let me know how it is.
Nice.
I'm very curious about this this like zombie PUBG game that they keep talking about on the Bombcast.
H1Z1.
The Last of Us?
Yo, Last of Us PUBG, let's go. No, what's it called? Like Monster Hunter or something? Not Monster Hunter. But
Monster Hunter.
y'all know what I
Oh
mean.
yeah, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Monster Hunter. I mean, there's a zombie dragon.
Yeah, okay.
Fine, I will look up the fucking name of it.
Technically, he's not a zombie. He's just a dragon covered in the essence of death.
Yeah, exactly. You weren't here for my fucking Monster Hunter story last week, Tony.
Tell me about it.
I got.
You know I didn't listen.
I know.
Why would I ever do that?
I don't know, man. Maybe because you care about the show and me.
I mean, but like, I could, if I wanted to know what Irrational Passions is like, I could just think of the other 380 fucking weeks that I've been on this thing.
Sure. You know what I'm playing, what shenanigans I'm getting up to. It's called Hunt Showdown. Seems cool. Like, have you heard about this, Tony? I don't know
No.
if you're caught up on the bomb.
I don't think that's supposed to be like a PUBG thing though.
So it is teams of 2 drop into an open world. And there's like a bounty placed on a creature in that world. It's like zombie enemies, but they're like special zombies. And then there are boss zombies. A bounty is placed on one of the boss zombies in this big open world. And you have to like find clues and the hunt for it with your partner. You can stumble upon other players at any point. It's random. And unlike PUBG, there's no player count, so you don't know who is still kind of up and about. It seems cool. It's a really cool idea. It's Crytek. Runs on CryEngine. So
Yeah. I saw the thing. Yeah, I saw the giant bomb. They did like a quick look of it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that, and it did look kind of neat because I like that it was like it's like there's basically not really any kind of HUD.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're kind of all relying on like the sounds and the things going on in the environment more so than like you're watching like a number trickle down like in PUBG where it says there's like 10 people left or 20 people left or whatever. Where it's just kind of like I think stuff does pop off when like people encounter the monster.
Yeah.
But like for the most part it's just relying on like sounds. Like they were saying like there's birds in the environment that if you get too near it'll make a sound and then everyone hears that sound and
it takes a little bit of like environmental stuff from Evolve, where like the thing that you're hunting will like can alert things in the environment that you can kind of notice. It seems like something you would get a kick out of, Tony.
Okay.
Kind of seeding the line for that one. But Monster Hunter, and you know about this, Mike, because I talked about it in the Slack.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that took so
I
long.
was beat down, crushed, defeated. I was defeated. It said you defeated, but to me, for the monster. And then I built myself back up, beat it, was satisfying, made a big turn, and now I'm in high rank, for your reference. So I'm doing some high rank stuff.
Yeah, I would say like I think everyone has that monster of like you're always gonna hit that, like especially for like the first like it's your first time in a game, because I know I had that. Mine wasn't Rathos, mine was Nergigante. Man, fuck that guy.
Yo, that guy's it's a good fight, man.
He wasn't fun for like for a while, and also I was since I've been playing solo on Xbox, it's not. I don't think.
I can't help you there, buddy. You picked the wrong console.
Yeah, I know. That was my own doing, but yeah, man, that was definitely one I felt defeated for a while.
Yeah, he's tough. Like he's definitely like he's one of the first very, very aggressive monsters.
Yeah.
Jared was saying like the one that he is having or had the most trouble with was Kieran. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that one is.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, there's a quest later. I don't know if Jared's done it yet. So Kieran's like a lightning unicorn.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more different ones.
To pass Hunter rank 49, you have to beat a tempered one.
Okay.
And tempered is basically it has the same health, but it does way more damage.
Oh, got it.
So like, and it's like the ranged monster basically because it does a bunch of ranged lightning attacks, and like it'll project like a bunch of lines on the ground, and then lightning will strike on all of those lines. So you have to not stand there. It's like very position-y based fight where you need to kind of control your movements and its movements in order to avoid attacks and kind of read it really well. And it doesn't have a very big window of like, hey, this is what I'm going to do and I'm doing it. It's more like this is what I'm doing and it's happening now. So that fight is it's tough, and especially when everything basically one shots you. It's an interesting fight. When I did it, I was playing in a party with 4 people. So killing it before someone like 3 people total die is pretty tough.
Yeah.
We ended up using a very specific strategy for it, which because you fight it in the same area every time, and it kind of walks around in the same way. So we'd all come in with light bow guns, which can lay mines.
Got it.
And then we'd wait for it to kind of go down to the bottom part, because the first area where it kind of patrols around is a really big bottom area, open field in the coral place, and then on top there's a smaller kind of one surrounded by a mountain. So we would put all the mines down, and then put all 3 mega barrel bombs down on top of the mines in its path each. So it'd have 12 barrel bombs and 12 mines from 4 light bow gunners sitting there. And as soon as it got walked over it, we'd shoot it, and everything would blow up and do a ton of damage, knock it down, and then we'd pepper it with slicing ammo and as long as possible. Because slicing ammo, you just hit it once, and then it will do 7 damage 12 times. So there's a very specific set that you can craft to make that really effective. So we did that, and then every time it would get knocked down, there'd be everyone on team or on Discord yelling at each other, "Hey, run up, put down mines, run up!" So we'd run up to the guy, put down a bunch of mines, blow him up. Eventually, he gets low on health and runs up to his nest. So everyone runs back to camp, gets more ammo, gets more bombs, goes up, and while he's sleeping, puts down another 12 barrel bombs and another 12 mines, blows all those up, and typically he'll die. So that's how we did it, and it was a lot of fun because
cool.
The fight is so crazy that the Discord comms are intense. Everyone's yelling stuff's happening. It's probably one of the better Monster Hunter experiences that I've had with the new game.
That's cool.
Nice.
Mark that one down for best experience. All right, let's get back to the show. You're back, right, Scott?
Yeah.
All right, show me. I heard you coming back. I just wanna...
Some news.
Time to get into some nudes.
Hey, do you guys want to see or actually, do you guys want to be witness to a live pen attempt right now?
No. I want to be witness to news and gaming. What's a pen attempt?
So, okay.
No. Don't humor him. Play the news and gaming sound, and let's move on.
Scott, no, you know how important this is.
No. This is more important.
It sounds like it's not that important, Scott.
So it's in Black Desert Online, right? The highest possible
news and
level
gaming
on a weapon is pen.
Play it.
So that's what I'm trying to do.
So you're trying to pen something. I got you.
I'm trying to get the high. You can't get a stronger item than what I'm going for, and the chance is less than 1%, pretty much.
Yeah, well, maybe news is what you need to do it.
Maybe.
All right. News in gaming. Let's talk about some news. Have you heard that before, Mike? I assume you have.
Yeah.
Good. Let the news flow through you.
Flowing.
There's a lot of news to go
thoughts.
through. I didn't include the Battlefield 5 stuff. The next battle. There's basically a lot of leaks about what Battlefield 5, the Battlefield game that is inevitably coming out this year, would be. But I did want to throw out there, and maybe I'll just bounce this off of you guys. I'm so Battlefield this year is probably going to go back to World War II. But I know I talked a lot of shit about Call of Duty going to World War II last year, but I'm kind of excited about Battlefield going to World War II.
Hypocrite.
I know. I'm a hypocrite. But the reason for that is because, Battlefield 1942, the original Battlefield, my first-person shooter I ever played, followed by Counter-Strike. I love that game. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of nostalgia for a Battlefield game set in World War II.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I have I always had a love-hate relationship with World at War, the Call of Duty, the last World War II Call of Duty game before last year's. So I feel like my relationship with that is more tenuous, but I have a lot of really good memories of Battlefield 1942. So I don't know. I just want to share that. I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
But I'm more excited about Battlefield set in World War II just because I have so many good memories of Road to Rome and fucking 1942. Man, Those were good games. Or good game, good expansion. Anyway, real news. I'm curious how you feel about this, Tony.
Okay.
Ubisoft quietly has announced The Division 2. Surprising no one, but they were just like, hey, Division 2 is a thing. More details are going to be at E3. I'm curious, where are you at as far as any interest at all for The Division, Tony?
I don't care. I seriously
don't care. And he burned down on the first one, but I've been hearing a lot of really crazy stuff about how they've changed that game recently. Like recently, not like the last 6 months recently. Obviously I tried to go back to it last year. I couldn't even get to max level because like the content in that game's fine. It's just like not amazing. And it's so getting to that post game stuff and kind of like the raid equivalent things. I just could not get through to that kind of final tier of the game. So I don't know. I want to know. I want to believe similar to like how the Taken King was for Destiny. Like there could be a big turn with the Division 2 that kind of rehauls things and makes it a bit more enjoyable from the ground up. But right now we don't really know anything about it. So, but it's another kind of quiet. There's a lot of quiet announcements going on, either release dates or video games.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of like quiet release dates, kind of coming off of what Sony did last week with Detroit, Microsoft this week was like, hey, here's the blog post letting you know when State of Decay 2 is coming out. What's cool about this, so State of Decay 2 coming out May 22nd. Officially got a date 3 days before Detroit, actually, fun fact. It will be $30 as opposed to $60, which is the same price that the original State of Decay launched at. I think it was either 20 or 30. There will be an Ultimate Edition that costs $50, which will get you access 4 days early, May 18th, instead of the 22nd, which is it's like the fucking Microsoft Ultimate Edition way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ultimate Edition will include the Xbox One version of the original State of Decay and the Independence and Daybreak DLC packs for State of Decay 2. So it is kind of the full service version of it. For $20 more is not too bad. Early access, the original game, and all the DLC for the second one, all the announced DLC for the second one. But the State of Decay 2 kind of launching at $30 is really cool. Obviously, it'll also be a part of Xbox Games Pass, which is true of all of Microsoft's first-party games now. But yeah, I'm very much looking. That State of Decay 2 is, like Sea of Thieves, I'm very much anticipating. But I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that game. I'm like very much anticipating State of Decay 2, and I hope to spend a lot of time with it. I really liked the first one. It was very, very flawed. I have a pretty critical review of that game on the site, but I think just conceptually that game was very exciting, and a sequel to a game like that, I think could be really excellent. Mike, where are you at with State of Decay?
I didn't get to have a chance to play the first one. I didn't have an Xbox One at the time when that game came out, so I just
PC. So I don't know what you're talking about.
True. So it's like, fuck that game, basically. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But yeah, like I think that second game definitely, from what they showed last year at E3, pretty appealing because it seemed like more open world and co-op focused. I don't think that was that big of a focus. The first game, at least, there wasn't that much co-op in there, right?
It was not a cooperative game; it was single player.
Yeah.
Only,
so yeah, that definitely makes it a little bit more appealing to me. And like you said, I think this goes with like not just this game, but most Xbox One games now being a part of Game Pass. Like that immediately goes, because that was like the first thing I got when I got my X. I was like, oh, I'm going to sign up for Game Pass because why not? Because it's just a bunch of games, and then they announced that. So now it's like, well, Sea of Thieves for basically $10 or whatever amount I'm paying a month, and State of Decay 2 now. It's like, why not check them out since I already have the Games Pass? So
yeah, it's a cool deal. I'm very much like State of Decay is a game that I think would do well as a co-op game. I think it is like surprisingly very good as a single player game too. It's like one of the coolest thing in State of Decay 1 was like the way you add things on the map is by climbing up a tower and like looking.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. But like looking through binoculars and adding, like marking each individual thing, and it would add it to your map. Like,
Okay.
actually seeing it and then marking it.
Right.
And it was just like, it was very tactile. It, I think ultimately something like Breath of the Wild does it even better, where it's just like you see a thing, you go do it. Like
right.
you don't have to mark anything necessarily. So it is kind of like a mix of that and like the Ubisoft formula of climb this tower and do this thing.
Sure. Wasn't like the base building like a big deal of it too? I remember hearing.
There's base building. You can like find new areas and build bigger bases and whatnot and recruit. If you die, like that character dies, and then you go back to your base, and you are a different character.
Oh, okay.
And that character has stats depending on like the things that they've done. So like, if you spent a long time like getting better at shooting with a character, like that character might have a shooting skill of like 5. And if they die, like they're gone forever.
Right.
It was really cool. Like there were a lot of really cool ideas. It was very, very framey. Like the frame rate was really bad and a lot of bugs, a lot of technical issues, a lot of clipping. Like enemies would clip through walls a lot, and so it was a bummer, kind of like the technical level of that.
Sure.
But again, just like so many really interesting ideas that it seems like they're kind of evolving in the way you would want them to. So it's cool to have like a firm date for State of Decay. It's another thing where it's like, man, like I can't be upset because I'm like, okay, I know when State of Decay 2 is coming out, I'm excited for it. But it's just like this weird kind of unceremonious way to announce a date for a game. But it's happening everywhere now. Maybe I'm just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say like in that announcement regard, I feel like, although that's a good way to do State of Decay because it's not like
it's not huge.
It's not a huge game, like you said. It's like a $30 game. Or it might just be like a game you just randomly pick up because you have Game Pass. Mm-hmm. So I like that makes sense to just be like, hey, here's a blog post about it.
I think what's happening is what they're noticing is why spend all this money on marketing when it's not working for them.
Yeah. That could be a good point too. Like if this game ultimately does well, which it might, especially with how they're treating Game Pass and everything, like they probably saved hundreds of thousands of dollars, not like making big launch trailers and everything for it,
right?
Or like announcement trailers for dates and whatnot. So,
but it's the same thing you said last week, Alex. It's like if you don't make a big deal of the thing that you're hyping up, then
yeah, then who's gonna know about it?
Yeah.
Right.
Or like it'll feel like kind of off to the side. I know it's not the case, but it comes across like they don't care as much, We talked about this last week, and I don't want to like fully dig back into it. It's just somewhat relevant.
Yeah.
I think both are valid points, though, Scott. I'm not sure where you're going to go with it, but it's just weird.
It's word of mouth it spreads much further nowadays.
They might be putting that marketing
as you would
towards
say,
other
it's
things.
the way to spread the love.
Yeah,
I think it's gross though. Don't do it that way.
I mean, it is definitely like things like Twitch, which is an extension of word of mouth, and it is done wonders for that. So I'm curious to see how it plays out with something like State of Decay. I think word of mouth can help a game like State of Decay way more than they can help a game like Detroit. So,
yeah.
We'll see. Activision, speaking of more quiet announcements, Activision announced their next Call of Duty, which is a little early for it. Typically, it's either later March or early April for them to announce it.
Didn't some stuff get leaked?
Yeah, it seemed like
maybe that's why
the name had been like Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Yeah, the name got leaked.
And boy, I don't know if it bothers you guys as much as it bothers me, but it's Roman numeral Black Ops 4, but it's 4 I's instead of IV.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember seeing that picture going around.
It bothers me so much.
Oh well, you see, it's not Black Ops 4. It's Black Ops Fence. Everybody's wrong.
Everybody's wrong. Activision's wrong. Fuck this.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, assuming it's Black Ops, a continuation of Black Ops 3, like Black Ops Fence, which I'll exclusively call it from now on.
Yeah.
It is, I imagine, going to be future warfare stuff. Maybe even more future than Black Ops 3, which is like mind melting, Total Recall, inside the Matrix type shit.
Mhm.
So
I'm in for it.
I don't think they said they were rebooting first.
It's going to be so into the
They haven't
future
said
that
that.
they're going to time travel back to medieval times.
Yeah,
sorry,
all
sorry,
right.
sorry,
I'm
sorry,
into
sorry.
that.
They're
They're
Yeah,
going to time travel back
I
to
would-
World War II.
I would actually be in for that.
Yeah, dude, they bring over like modern tech into World War II, like or future tech into World War II. They've not said the period yet, option, but I'm
Nah, they didn't have the oversight to do that.
yeah. They said full reveal in May, but since it's Black Ops, I assume it will kind of continue where Black Ops 3 left off.
I think it was the one who leaked it said something about like it being relatively modern, like
I mean,
modern, not future modern.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see kind of like I still think Treyarch makes really good games. Like I did not play Black Ops 3. You know, I really liked Black Ops 2, and I really liked Black Ops 1. But I just I've had a long break from Call of Duty. I don't know if and when I'll go back. And I don't know. I'm always excited to at least see what Treyarch has to offer. I feel like they've just gone too big with the zombies mode. I used to enjoy it, and now it's just too much. Big thing about this is it's going to release October 12th, which is almost a full month ahead of when Call of Duty is released for the last like 7 years. Which I think a lot of people have accurately surmised is that fucking Red Dead Redemption 2 fear.
Yeah. It's out now.
Because that's October 26th, and that is going to inevitably be a very, very big game, but I think the multiplayer component of that, whatever it ends up being, which we still don't really know, but after, just the fucking wreath of flame that Grand Theft Auto 5 Online has left in the industry, still hitting the MPDs almost every month, it is safe to say that whatever Rockstar is doing with Red Dead 2 is going to be huge. So I think it's very clear a response to that, or at least related to that. But yeah, that is so early for Call of Duty. Call of Duty hasn't released outside of the first week of November, or by like November 10th or 11th in literal years. I don't know if it ever has, honestly. So it is just writing on the wall that they're getting out of the way of something. So, which means Battlefield typically releases in October. Which means it'll probably be going like right head to head with Battlefield. Could be coming out within the same week of each other. So that could be very interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Either way, neither of them will be the number one NPD for that for our October, which is crazy. The only other kind of quiet announcement outside of like all the fucking very loud announcements that Nintendo made, Days Gone was also quietly delayed till 2019. Somebody's just like, hey, we're going to put that next year.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does too. Honestly, like 2 games coming out in the same year is like the biggest year Sony's had in like 6 years. So.
Well, yeah, they have like I think like three kind of big
I guess
games.
Spider-Man's coming out this fall.
Yeah, because they got God of War. It's like in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Then Detroit's in the summer, and then Spider-Man will probably.
Listen, man.
Done.
May is still spring. I can't subscribe to this May is summer business.
It's pretty close though.
It's pretty close. It's
closer to summer than it is to spring.
It's in spring.
But it's closer to it becoming summer though.
It is closer to becoming summer.
Well,
May 25th.
Well, yeah. Closer to becoming spring is like now.
Like we're living it. We're almost it. But yeah, it was. I think it was like leaked, and then Sony confirmed it. Which like they had said like kind of last year that hey, Days Gone is coming out in 2018.
Yeah,
I didn't fucking believe it anyway. So I didn't believe God of War was coming out this year, or I think that was the only one that I thought might actually come out this year. So, just another kind of shifting of the board, which man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Days Gone.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Nobody does. Like I bet they don't even know.
Yeah, not to mention like the potential of Last of Us 2 also maybe being a next year game.
Yeah, oh man, that's
like that would be really weird to have like this weird zombie open world game, and then Last of Us 2. Or not, yeah,
Last
I
of Us
feel
2
like
just being a focused,
yeah, yeah,
not open world, but probably far better zombie game. You know.
yeah. So I feel like if Last of Us 2 gets a 2019 window, like everyone's gonna immediately be like, well, who cares?
Yeah,
about
that's some
Con
fucking
again?
last Guardian. We're sending this off to die type shit right there.
Yeah.
So.
If I were to predict something like I think Days Gone will probably be out around like March of 2019. It's gonna have a weird E3 regardless.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have to show that game again.
Yeah.
And then like people are already like so apathetic about it that like I don't know what you can show for that game.
Here's a theory for you, Nabishin, just to kind of counteract that one. Like maybe you start focusing on more new stuff during E3, and then you do a big blowout. Show me something to get me excited for Days Gone at PSX. But I don't know. I don't know if like this year's PSX will be back to kind of the older strategy of doing a conference, but.
Microsoft's quote unquote Nintendo Direct was today, right?
No, I didn't.
I think it was Xbox Inside, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's their new show.
Yeah, they announced some stuff. Nothing too significant to like really say on news, but like I was hoping it'd be more than what it was, but like it's good. It's decent. I guess I could say.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
It's not Nintendo Direct levels. Like they didn't really announce anything. Like they said, City Skylines is coming to Xbox Game Pass, but like you were hoping like a big announcement or like a mic drop moment. Like this wasn't really that. For that, unfortunately, they did talk about Sea of Thieves and stuff like that. So
I remember when they announced that like late last week or early this week, and they said like the first episode was just gonna be focused on Sea of Thieves. So
yeah.
I don't know. Boy, video games. Other just kind of last piece of news that I had was that PUBG is talking about their kind of new roadmap for what they're doing with or Bluehole is working on their roadmap for PUBG and kind of like a more rigid 2-month big update cycle. So like big pieces of content like new modes or new maps within 2 months or every 2 months. They talked about their next map, which is going to be like a foresty map, which looks cool. They put out like a picture of what the map looks like. Looks like it's going to be a bit smaller too, which is kind of exciting. And they're working on new game modes, which might be up on the playtest server next month. So, and they're trying to kind of tighten up their release schedule for significant pieces of content, which is rad. I mean, obviously, like I wouldn't say Fortnite's got them scared, but like Fortnite is becoming just absurdly big at this point. Mostly on console. Obviously, it's like the most played Xbox game and I think PlayStation 4 game at this point by a significant margin, just judging off the things I've heard. But there's also gonna be like a new emote system, but I don't think that's super important. And Fortnite also announced that like they're gonna have cross-play between Xbox, PC, and the mobile version, which they announced this week. Which that just sounds not super fun, but regardless, cross-play between Xbox One and PC is pretty cool. Let's get into Nintendo stuff. There's a Nintendo Direct this week. Big, chunky, meaty Nintendo news.
A lot of stuff.
I like Nintendo Directs. I like unpacking Nintendo Directs. It was broken up into 3 parts. 2 parts about Switch and 1 part about 3DS. They opened up with the 3DS part. Not a lot to say, They were like, hey...
They're making 3DS games till 2019.
They're making 3DS games till 2019, at least. They announced Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story remake for 3DS, which is good. I mean, it's the best one.
Yeah, but you can still technically buy that game right now and play it on your 3DS. And it'd still be the same game. Sure...
But Bowser Jr.
They're out in Bowser Jr.'s journey.
Yeah, it's just strange. Like I like those games, but I was really hoping just maybe start seeing one of those popping up on Switch and like a nicer kind of updated visuals and stuff like that. But
yeah,
why'd you skip 2?
2 is like the least popular one.
Is it really?
The Partners in Time.
Technically, what's the Paper Mario one is the least popular one.
Yeah, it's sad.
Because Dreamy Luigi, just to reiterate, great. The Dream one was cool from what I played of it. Bowser's Inside Story is far and away the most popular one, but the first DS one, the Baby Luigi, Baby Mario, something Travelers in Time, I think is.
I think it's Partners in Time.
Partners in Time, yes, that's it.
I think something like that.
Was, I would say, not the best regarded. I don't want to say it was outwardly unpopular, but I just know it was more apathetic. It's a cool game, you know. They did cool stuff in it, like basically from the jump. The first one was on GBA, that was remade for 3DS last year, I think. So this one is was on DS being remade for 3DS. They're doing the same kind of visual overhaul and adding like an extra little side story about Bowser Jr. coming out in 2019. That's all they said about it, which is boy. You know, the Partners in Time was cool in that basically the way the Mario and Luigi RPGs work is all of his actions are mapped to the A button and all of Luigi's actions are mapped to the B button. And like everything they do is kind of somehow tied to that. All of Baby Mario's actions are mapped to the Y button, and all of Baby Luigi's actions are mapped to the X button. So they kind of accompany each other side by side, and in regards to that, you are like hitting all 4 buttons through combat and through different abilities and whatnot in clever ways. But it's a lot. It's kind of overwhelming.
It's a lot more to manage. Where the first game and then the subsequent games where you didn't have those extra kind of managed control or like Baby Mario and Luigi to manage as well. It just kind of made the game feel a lot better, I think.
Yeah, I haven't played The World Ends With You.
Yeah, World Ends With You, I feel like is what's cool about that is like, you know, part of its touchscreen, part of its buttons.
The big saving grace of The World Ends With You is that it is encouraged that you change the difficulty on the fly.
Yeah.
That is a huge part of the game.
God, that game's so fucking good. I totally forgot about that. I completely forgot about that.
It's coming to Switch this year.
Yeah, man.
I'm so excited to finally play through it. You know, I've played so little of it all the times I've tried to play it. So,
it's such a huge having the dual screens. It's such a huge.
I know.
And it's not just it's the simultaneous controls, which makes it that huge.
Yeah, I know. I like, you know, the cool thing is, like, with the Switch being a touchscreen as well, like they might be able to integrate that in some way.
Is it?
The Switch is a touchscreen. You have a Switch, Scott.
I've never used it as a touchscreen.
Needle couldn't go to PC.
Scott, Needle couldn't go to PC.
Can I manage my items in Zelda through the touchscreen?
No.
Fuck.
Zelda does not use the touchscreen at all.
The touchscreen's very underutilized, but it seems like there's been a few games, which you'll probably say the other one, which Okami HD, and the Direct shows touchscreen stuff, which that was a really good implementation of that.
Yeah. So, because you can only use the touchscreen when it's in handheld mode. That's why some games are handheld mode only, because they utilize the touchscreen. So, but I'm saying, like, there's potential for, like, when you're playing it in TV or docked mode, it's like the kind of iPhone version, but just with buttons. But when you're playing in handheld mode, there's potential that The World Ends With You is kind of using both control schemes. So we don't know yet. So there's hope, Scott. I'm giving you hope. Luigi's Mansion, the original Luigi's Mansion, is being remade.
That's probably like the biggest bummer. Seeing that, it was just like, man.
I know, like, you know, obviously the theory out there is that, you know, they had the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon engine.
Sure.
So just porting the original Luigi's Mansion to that and putting it on 3DS was probably pretty easy. The game is intact. They added a boss rush mode. It seems like the only thing they're really adding to it.
So obviously a year from now they're going to release both the games on Switch.
Yeah.
Well, here's my hope, not to like jump too far ahead, but once they get into the Switch portion, they talked about that Sushi Striker game.
Yeah.
And they were saying that's like a Switch and a 3DS, like they're like simultaneously launching like the same day on both. So I was thinking maybe it's something they will tie to their online service to have maybe more 3DS games start coming over to Switch in some kind of like whatever system they could make up to be like, here's these Switch games that everyone, because that's like the problem now is all these 3DS games is like, even though they'll be fine games and they're good, but like you can probably go to all their YouTube trailers on the Nintendo channel and like every comment will just be, where's the Switch version, Switch version, Switch version, what the hell, Switch,
It's a lot of hope for you, Mike.
I know, right?
I don't want to rain on your parade, but anyway, I love the original Luigi's Mansion. I honestly might play this. Like, I know I'm fucking terrible, but whatever.
I don't see why that makes you terrible.
I just gotta stop buying these 3DS games. Make them think that maybe they should stop putting games out for it.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, you see. Speak with your wallet, vote with your wallet, whatever. But Metroid remake was really good. So, what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
There's another Dylan game. He's that armadillo guy that runs around. Dylan, It's Dead Heat comes out on May 24th. Looks alright. Looks a little framey in that like video that they showed. It's like, boy, okay. But I never played the original Dylan, but I guess some people like it. But 4 big 3DS things. It's not too bad. There's one other one, but we'll kind of loop back to that. Moving into the Switch part of the show, Sushi Striker is a cool downloadable game coming to Switch June 8th. It's like a kind of a match 3-esque game, but you're like moving sushi plates around, and like the sushi is moving on conveyor belts, so you have to constantly be adjusting. And then you eat the sushi, and then you like throw the plates at your enemy. It's fucking pretty cool.
Yeah, like that. Not only that, but like there was like they showed like an actual
anime story.
Yeah, like anime cutscene, like actually like animated and everything. Like it was. Yeah. I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh wow, they're actually.
It could be like on the tier of like Battle Chef Brigade. That's the kind of vibes I got. Of like maybe there's a lot to this, and it seems pretty cool. Octopath Traveler, no longer Project Octopath Traveler, but Octopath Traveler.
So good.
Renamed as such. Showed off 2 more characters. A collector's edition coming out July 13th. Really good time for that game.
Oh yeah, perfect time.
Looks great.
So I'm really looking forward to that game.
I don't know Oh, sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Not only just like I played the demo and the combat is there, but it's like the thing that has me more excited is the music. Like the music in the demo and like even the music just in there, I was just like, man, I'm already getting like good feelings, good vibes from all the music. I'm really looking forward to that game.
I played a little bit of the demo. I don't know if you've checked this out at all, Scott. It is very much like, it seems like it'd be kind of up your alley. It reminds me a lot of Bravely Default.
Yeah. It's the same team.
Yeah, it's the same team as that. So after Bravely Second, they moved on to this. Switch exclusive. 8 characters, all with their own different abilities. Fully voiced, too. I think the voice acting is pretty good. So
yeah.
It seems cool. So I only played a little bit of the demo, but
yeah,
it left
demo's pretty cool.
You get to play 2 characters in that, and you kind of get a feel for their abilities. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Just kind of they showed off what that game looks like and kind of reconfirmed it for 2018. Where are you at with this, Nabashin?
I'm shocked by how actually good it looks.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, it's got a very cool style to it. It seems like it jumps around as far as styles are concerned. I thought like going off of like how they were talking about how it's going to reference a whole bunch of other games, it would be more like homage-y to those other games specifically, but it definitely seems like it is kind of like a consistent art style throughout with little hints and nods there.
Yeah. So this is the thing that I think people missed when they announced it a while ago, is like when they first got announced, there was like an interview with Suda, the creator and everything, like a few weeks after, like explaining more of like how it is tied into that. And this is probably gonna ultimately end up with people being kind of disappointed, because it's going to be they're not necessarily going to be like straight up like you're going to be running around a level and like interact with these other kind of game characters. So I think it was more or less so that like they're going to be like part of like kind of like collectibles. Like Travis has all those different weird wacky shirts and stuff. Like I think they were saying like you'd be able to like find shirts and stuff that had like a Shovel Knight or some kind of indie character on it.
I feel like Nabashin tried to explain this to me at one point, but I didn't get it.
Totally did.
Yeah.
So I vaguely remember that. So At least some of it got through to me now, Shen. But yeah, like I think this game kind of looks cool. It's got like a co-op, 2-player co-op mode too.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It's top-down actiony looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, new No More Heroes game in some regard coming out in 2018. So there's hope for you yet, Nabashin. Hopefully, maybe ports the first two to Switch.
That would also be really cool.
Oh god, that never even came into my mind.
Dude, everything's coming to Switch. Man, I talked
They
to
could
Graham
do it
Ranch
too.
about this fucking Nintendo Direct. He's like, finally, they're drinking my apple juice, and I'm like, all right, dude, calm down. But yeah, it looks cool. They showed a little bit of Dark Souls remastered on Switch. There will be a network test, so kind of like an ability for folk with Switch to play it for free at some point. And it's great because I get to break this news to Scott because he definitely doesn't know.
What is it? Is it Ni no Kuni 2 coming to PC related?
No. Well, it's ridiculous like that. That's not even that ridiculous.
What?
It's Dark Souls related and Switch related. Scott, tell me. I want you to take a guess first. What is like a thing that a lot of games on recent Nintendo platforms have had that would be absurd if Dark Souls had it as well?
A Mario costume?
That's a really good guess. But no, there will be a Dark Souls amiibo. And Scott, you're right. It is a Solaire amiibo. And yes, of course he's praising the sun. And you know what this amiibo does if you tap it to your console while you're playing Dark Souls on Switch? It makes your character praise the sun. Is that all it does? Definitely seems like it. So basically,
worth it.
Worth it for sure. Of course, it's a fucking GameStop exclusive. So like, I went to pre-order one, and they were gonna like charge a $5 shipping fee, and I'm like, man, fuck this. So I did not pre-order it, and now it's sold out. But hopefully, I'll be able to find it. What's up?
Could pick up from the store?
There was no pick up from store option when I was trying to order it. It was fucking shenanigans. So I'm just gonna have to go on the hunt for it. I'll need your help, Nabashin, as always. But yeah, it's so dumb. It's beautiful. And, like, they knew because like, when they announced it, like the Solaire amiibo just drops down on the screen. It's like crazy. It's fucking so good. Nintendo is becoming too good at this shit.
Yeah, they're meta as fuck now.
Yeah,
they really are.
What's cool is like they showed a little bit of what the game looks like on Switch. It does. I thought it looked pretty good. But I'm curious to play the network test, just see how it feels and looks on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be a good opportunity for folks with Switch who are curious about Dark Souls to at least give it a shot. And that'll hopefully inform my buying decision of whether I want to get that on Switch or a platform that'll run it at 60.
I recommend looking up the EC Allies reacts to that amiibo.
Oh, I already watched it, man.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Moore is reeling still. It's really good. They took a big chunk in the middle to talk a whole bunch about Mario Tennis Aces. I don't know how you guys feel about Mario Tennis, but this Mario Tennis game looks pretty good.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at like how they kind of added so much stuff to that. Like after the Wii U one was just like fucking trash, basically. They just kind of threw that out the die, and then like this one is like they kind of just like were like, let's add some kind of fighting game almost tier like levels of like not necessarily complexity, but like mechanics of like a lot of risk rewards and like that kind of stuff. Like that was really cool seeing that, like them trying to like take this game from just kind of like a fun kind of whatever to actually trying to make it more competitive.
Yeah, I liked the original Mario Tennis on N64, and
my boy Waluigi's
Waluigi's debut
main entrance.
And I don't know, they were showing off like, hey, you can do power shots and you can break your enemy's racket, and if they run out of rackets, they have to forfeit the match. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel this shit. But like they showed off like there's basically a way to counter that.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart. Like you have like this pool of mana basically that you can either use offensively to do those special shots or defensively to kind of protect against those special shots. Or you can let it build up all the way and do like a super shot. So mana or like super meter,
Mhm.
like one of the two.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I it looks cool. They showed a lot of the game. I like.
He plays a chain chomp.
He plays a chain
Playing
chomp.
tennis.
He carries the racket around in his mouth.
It's a good time.
It's a good time. They went back to show even more headlines for Switch, as they refer to it as Captain Toad. Big deal. Coming to Switch.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. So now we're seeing, like, in this press conference or in this direct, you were like, okay, there's another one off the list. Getting one step closer to getting rid of this Wii U forever. And then Captain Toad's also coming to 3DS, just by the way. That's coming out July 13th. What I liked about this, just take a moment, a lot of new announcements, a lot of dates with all these announcements.
Yeah.
Just saying, Nintendo knows what they're doing. Which is the craziest thing I've ever said in my life. They announced Undertale is coming to Nintendo Switch. They did not give a date at all, but that is something a lot of people have wanted for a while. I did not end up buying Undertale on PS4 Vita, so I'll probably buy it again on Switch and play through it again there. Just because I like that game a lot, and I love to support it, love to play through it again. They just said it was coming, quote unquote, eventually. But it was a funny announcement trailer. There was a good science bit in it for you, Scott. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is coming to Switch on July 10th, which there was kind of rumored that was a annual exclusive, like just for 1 year to PlayStation, but just to see it's like now coming to the fucking Nintendo console. It'll probably come on Xbox One as well, but
I think yeah, I want to say there was another announcement not too soon after the Switch one saying it was coming to Xbox and even PC, I think.
Okay,
good.
Yeah.
I want to say they did, but
Nintendo
I just think it was kind of randomly.
So
yeah, Nintendo did get the bigger announcement.
Yeah,
that's
actually honestly a really good fit for Switch.
Yeah.
I
just liked how they talked about it too, where they were just like, you never thought it could happen. It's the impossible. Like how whatever the direct guy was saying, like how he was describing.
Yeah, he was like, "What the fuck?
Fucking crash, y'all! Look at this shit." You're just like, okay, man, whoa, all right.
Like, yeah, Jesus, come on. I missed it. I did not write it down here. Okami HD coming to Switch.
Yeah,
that's cool. So pissed.
I am too.
Yeah, I only waited a couple of months.
Did you guys buy?
I bought it on PS4.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, man. I would like the Switch is so perfect for that game.
Yeah.
I might
That'll definitely be one I buy.
I won't play it, but I'll just buy it because I really want them to make another Okami.
I think I will actually go through it on that version.
That's fine. I'll allow it.
Because I need to beat that game.
You need to beat it. I know
it's a
you've
very
seen
good
the ending
game
already, but it's crazy.
Like the last time I played, I got to the
the bull guy.
No, I'm shrunken down.
Oh, okay. That's about halfway through the game.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. It's a good bit, too. You get shrunk. You see E soon for the first time.
Yeah.
He tries to be fucking hot shit.
That's right.
Cuts a leaf in half. He's like, check me out. I'm like, dude, you're fucking goober. Little Nightmares Complete Edition's coming to Switch. South Park The Fractured But Whole is coming to Switch, which was worth it just to hear the Nintendo guy say South Park The Fractured But Whole.
Yeah, and also like you could very blatantly tell how quickly cut that whole trailer was to not show anything super
bad
or graphic. It was really the whole time I was watching, I was just kind of like, hey, yeah, okay. You're just clearly very
much leaning on the parts of that game that are like, fine. Like, build your followers, get experience, and let's not show anybody farting on anyone. But it is cool. Like, I feel like, Wii U even, I guess Wii U less so, but like Wii and GameCube, it was less likely that something as raunchy as South Park would come to a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
But obviously they're putting their deals ahead of their kind of emphasis on family friendliness, which I think will do the hardware better in the long run.
Yeah, definitely having more variety.
Yeah, and also like again, it's a good fit. Like I feel like that game would work well as a portable and anywhere.
Sure.
So, ARMS. There's gonna be an online tournament for ARMS, and it'll be free to play on my birthday weekend. Just by the way, starting March 31st. There will be like a 3-day period where you can just play the whole game. Sounds like, or play some kind of demo version of the game.
Yeah, they've done that before. Like their test kind of beta test things they've done for a bunch of their games.
Seems like this will be a little bit more extensive, which is cool. You know, it's like been almost a year since ARMS came out, and they're trying to liven up the play field for it. They also say like, hey, we're gonna do a thing at GDC about ARMS and about Splatoon 2 as well. But yeah, so we didn't mention it, but there's also gonna be like a Mario Tennis online tournament where you can play online before the game comes out for free. So they're doing that for ARMS. It's like a quiet but really smart thing for Nintendo to do.
Yeah, just
so
try out the games in the system. Why not? Like even like not directly Nintendo, but like you said earlier, the Dark Souls is doing it too on their system. It's just like, hey, just try it out on the system, see if you like it.
Yeah,
that's really smart.
Yeah, and it feels like something that Nintendo's doing that no one else is doing, which is, you know, there's not much of that. So, you know, they kind of ended for the most part on a big Splatoon focus update. I'm curious where you're at with this, Notmission. But basically, Splatoon version 3.0 is coming out in April, which adding like new rankings, I imagine, and new maps. I think is part of that. And then Splatoon is getting its first paid expansion in the summer. The Octo expansion is it? I think it's called.
Yeah, that's right.
It's $20. And it is adding like a whole new story campaign, a new playable kind of character, the Octolings, which are octopus characters. Octopus kids. They look like, you know, they're kids. They're teenagers. But they're like, they turn into octopuses.
Yeah, they get octopus tentacles on their head instead.
They got octopi tentacles, yeah. It's cool. And the trailer for that expansion is
awesome.
It's fucking rad as hell.
Yeah, real good.
It's Blessing Adeoye had the fucking most accurate tweet of like, boy, this Splatoon expansion soundtrack is going harder than the Black Panther soundtrack. And I was like, fucking yeah, it is.
I want to point out something. I think I might have retweeted it to look up because it was like a super deep cut going on with that Pearl and Marina in the subway are dressed up like Tupac and Biggie.
Whoa.
Yes, yeah. Like no joke. Like Pearl, which I think I'm pretty sure that's the right one, is she's like the smaller with like the pinkish hair. She has like there's Biggie from his one cover album where he has like a little crown on his head. She's wearing the crown the same way, and then Marina has like a white do-rag tied in the front like Tupac in another picture. It's like,
holy shit.
Somebody pointed that out on Twitter and I was like, man, what a fucking deep cut in Splatoon. What the hell?
Splatoon's
so
great.
Good.
Are you excited for this now, Shin?
Yeah, like I haven't played Splatoon in so long. Like I don't know. Like
it's time to go back, man.
I should, honestly. I still
this is something that would bring me back.
This would bring me back too. So yeah, I thought it was really cool. They didn't necessarily say if part of this expansion will be more maps or anything, but I feel like they would have if it was, but I'm not sure. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of new single player content, new bosses and whatnot, but it's really cool.
They've been supporting it with like over a year now, or almost a year now, with a free update. So
yeah, it is. They've earned their due for a $20 expansion that seems to have not an insignificant amount of content in it. So, last one, they did a fucking whole one more thing, blah blah blah. Super Smash Brothers.
It's here.
It's here. I will say, as far as Super Smash Brothers trailers go, this one was a very good one.
Yep.
Man, that was something, all right.
I was several people linked me the very last part of the direct, which is the
funniest shit in the world.
Man,
it's just like, oh hey, we have one more thing. They show like the Inkling boy, Inkling girl just running around. It's like, okay, I thought like my first instinct was like, man, are they announcing Splatoon 1 is getting ported to Switch? I don't know. If other people had that thought. No. It seemed very dumb at the time, and it seems very dumb in retrospect as well. But I wouldn't put anything past Nintendo. And then just the fucking Splatoon girl turns around and there's a fire of the Smash logo burning
fucking
in her
depths
eye.
of hell. The depths of Smash Bros.
And then it
hell.
Zooms in on Mario like the most menacing shit. Like, you're gonna fucking die. I'm gonna kill you guys.
Fucking Christ.
And then on Link.
Yeah, and then on Link, and it's Breath of the Wild Link, so it's kind of implying, at the very least, if this is mostly a port or a complete port, they are making some changes to it.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be leaning towards it being like a new game.
I would bet that it is like a Splatoon 2 situation. That was the theory that I kind of, where it's like pretty much the same, but like they've reworked the kind of grid work around it, so it is new. Seems like the Splatoon kids will in some way be a character. I don't know if they'll both be a character.
I'm pretty sure it will be.
Yeah, I think it'll be like in
One
Smash
with
Wii
old
U.
costumes.
Yeah, like the villager, how the villager works, where like
Yeah.
you can be a male or female villager. It'll probably be the same.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in 2018. Yeah. So that's cool. Smash Brothers. It's happening. They finally announced it. Everyone can fucking chill.
Yeah.
And it looks good. I'm excited. I always get excited for Smash Brothers. Scott knows this. The basis of this podcast is in some way, shape, and form Super Smash Brothers. And so anytime that one is announced, especially with a fucking humdinger of a trailer, I get pretty stoked. Boy, God, what a fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not to mention like since it is 2018, that leaves us like what, like 9 months or so. So like there's going to be like rapid fire announcements. I feel more so than some of the previous ones. So like this will be a.
I would bet that this and Fire Emblem are their 2 big games for the fall. So
yeah.
So
pretty likely.
their E3, I assume.
Yeah, I think that'll be their E3 stuff that they.
I think they're going to do that in that regard. I think they're going to be some like game specific directs like they've done before. Because I think one year for Smash they did like a Smash Direct, and then they had like their own
like
direct.
A 25-minute Smash Direct. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it's very good.
So you would assume that their E3 showcase would be. You mean like the for the floor E3 would be their Smash Brothers thing?
Yeah.
So
I think Fire Emblem could be a big part of that as well, but
yeah,
we'll see.
All right. So I guess that means like probably Pokemon would probably be the thing for next year. Then.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
I never thought Pokemon was coming out this year.
It's a bummer though.
Which is a bummer, but like.
But yeah, they shouldn't.
I don't think they should rush that game in any regard. So like they're going big on Pokemon for the first time ever. So you know. I would say like maybe Pokemon Animal Crossing would be a really strong combo for next year. If you're talking about like Metroid Prime,
yeah,
like 2 tentpole franchises per year, like Mario and Zelda in the first year, Fire Emblem and Smash Brothers in the second year, like those are 2 really really strong years back to back. Especially with how fucking big Fire Emblem is now, it's just kind of dumb how big that game is. Yeah, like either Pokemon and Zelda or not Zelda, Pokemon and Metroid, or Pokemon and Animal Crossing, or Animal Crossing and Metroid. Like either of those combinations would work really well for next year. So, either way, I think they've got a good plan. Just kind of going alongside the Smash Brothers news, Masahiro Sakurai came out and said like, "Hey, I am working on the new Smash Brothers."
Poor man.
And like this is news in like he kind of did some interviews after Smash for Wii U and 3DS came out where he was like, "Yeah, like
I'm fucking dying, y'all. Like, please help.
This game has destroyed me. My marriage fell apart, Kind of like really like he pours his heart and souls in these games.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
I believe, yeah, he talked about
it's something along those lines. There's something I don't know. I don't hear anything about.
I don't know if he like actually is no longer married, but like it was putting a very
toll on it,
intense strain on his home life
and his like health.
Yeah,
definitely heard a lot about that.
Mental and physical health. And I got some quotes in this Polygon article kind of pulled up. This was to Game Informer in an interview after Wii U came out. He said, "You could say that all the effort in the past to stretch out, keep pushing myself, provide all these extra merits wound up tightening the noose around my neck in the future." That was a direct quote.
From the director of this game.
Yeah. He also said, I also have trouble picturing someone else taking my place and providing all this value-added content without me.
Fun bit. Go on Google and type in Masahiro Sakurai.
Oh, yeah.
I saw this.
Happens.
I forgot that.
Listeners at home can search that, the kind of resulting picture. But yeah, I don't know, man. That guy, I feel for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good. Like, he's a very good director. Obviously, like, he's done a lot of really great work with Smash Brothers. But boy,
Yeah, I feel like he needs to.
Take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, take care of himself. Like this feels like a good opportunity for, because I feel like with this Smash is like, since they're releasing it this early in the Switch life cycle,
Clearly,
I feel like
they've been working on it, or they're pulling most of the work from the Wii U version.
yeah, like there's just gonna be like a DLC for this fucking game for the rest of like the Switch's life cycle. They could probably
God,
do
I hope
it.
so. Just like they don't need to make another one for Switch.
Yeah,
which gives
exactly.
Them, like,
And like
5
that
good
would
years.
yes,
Like,
yeah, seriously, and that would just give Sakurai the opportunity to like take in an underling or something to like take his place or something.
yeah, I mean,
That guy is like done enough, I think.
he's not announced like his role in the new game, so he might be producer instead of director, like he has been, which would mean it gives him kind of the opportunity to maybe mentor someone else into the role. But
I think that'd be good for him.
yeah, dude, we all think that. But that's it for news. Jam-packed news week, a lot of fun stuff. Nintendo
Always,
putting
yeah, I was gonna
on
say,
a good show.
it's always fun when a Nintendo Direct comes up.
Yeah, I like talking about them. Especially when they just have some great humdingers of trailers, like I said. Not a lot of new stuff announced yet, and I think that's a fair criticism that there's a lot of ports coming to Switch.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's not like there's not other new stuff coming, but and that
but they have enough like cool little new things like Octopath Traveler, New
Yeah.
Heroes, Mario Tennis Aces, and Captain Toad, a game nobody played. And
Potentially
now a
at
bunch of
Smash.
people will be able to play, and Smash Brothers. So
yeah, it could be potentially new. We don't really know for sure yet.
yeah,
I highly doubt that it's Smash U ported with a DLC character.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
I highly doubt it.
I think it'll be like the basis of that game, but I think the structure around it will be totally different. Like I said,
yeah,
like the way that game played and the kind of roster for that game was great. So like keep most of that. Hopefully keep the guest characters that they had for that, because I thought they were really good, really fun. But like there's a lot of stuff they could do around that if like the infrastructure of that game, like the balance and all the characters and their movesets mostly stayed the same, like I think they could still do a lot in a short amount of time to make that work. So we didn't really get any questions this week, and we're going pretty long, so I'm not gonna necessarily spin it out here, but just as some to kind of move into the closing act of the show, if you want to be a part of the show and send us questions, you can tweet them at IrrationalPod, the hashtag IPQ. You can leave us a voicemail at 404-590-1337, or you can send us an email, mailsack@irrationalpatch.com. Go ahead and follow the site on Twitter at IrrationalPod, kind of like I mentioned earlier. Input shirt is up there. You can go find a link to that to purchase that. Should be up on the website, irrationalpatch.com. Link to like subscriptions for Get Acquainted is up there as well. I would very much appreciate it if you go check that out on Monday or whatnot. And I think that's about it. Tons of stuff. irrationalpatch.com. Mike, you're at Mike Hits the Wall. Go follow Mike. He's cool.
thanks.
Got some good tweets.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're all right. Hey, you're right. And the only other thing, go listen to Input. Go check out irrationalpatch.com. Go listen to Get Acquainted. Those are the only other things I want to say at the end here. Before we close the show, though, Mike.
Yeah,
Now it is time for bets.
let's bet.
Let's bet. This week's bet. So, Mike, first we got to decide. You got to pick a team.
Oh gosh,
Do you know the betting teams? Do you know how this works?
I know it's Scott and Tony, right? And then
Yep.
you and Babishin.
Yes. Now, I will say Scott and Tony are the underdog currently.
They're underdogs.
So,
Well, I want to be on the winning team though.
hey man, I'm gonna leave.
I mean, all that matters is who wins at the end, right?
It's true. Yeah, there you go. They got plenty of time to catch up. Get into the
true.
end of the year or so. What do you want to do, Mike? It's all on you.
It always is. Let's go. I'm going for the winning team for tonight.
Okay.
Go with you guys.
Team Nanashi. He chose. I mean, our guest last week was on a team currently called BitConnect. I don't know if there's an update to that needs to be delivered, Tony.
No, it's
Until
perfect.
next month.
Okay. Still relevant. This week's bet. And when you're when I say so, you can type it in the side chat, Mike, in Google Hangouts, and then send it there, just for your reference. In the least positive review on OpenCritic for the video game Golem, how many times will the word immersive be used? Now, Golem is a PlayStation VR title, exclusive for PSVR. Thus, my choice of words here, immersive. Is this game immersive? Is it not? In the least positive OpenCritic review, how many times will the word immersive be used? And when you're ready, you can go ahead and hit send on your bets in the chat.
So what was the first part again? Sorry.
I can't find the chat. There it is.
In the least positive review for Golem on OpenCritic, and this is critic reviews, not necessarily contributor reviews, to clarify. How many times will the word immersive be used?
Okay, least positive review.
Least positive. Could be saying it's not very immersive. All right. I bet 2. Scott bet 1. Tony bet 3. Nabishin bet 2 as well. Just on the same page today. Think about Asura's Wrath. And Mike bet 4. That's good. Good spread. Last week's bet. We'll resolve some things here real quick. What will the file size of Final Fantasy 15 be on PC? And this is the download size on Steam.
Does this count the high texture pack?
I think it has to.
Okay.
I think, because I was looking for a big number. That was kind of the intent behind the bet. I want it to be big. Not necessarily for my reasons, but because fucking this game has an absurd download size. For reference, I bet 56.4 gigabytes. Scott bet 45 gigabytes. Nabishin bet 100 gigabytes. And Caitlin, our guest, who's on the Scott and Tony team, bet 75 gigabytes. Boy, the high resolution texture pack is a separate download on the store. That's why I asked. Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's fucking...
Oh my god, yeah. Wow, I didn't expect it to be that big. So, just for reference, the the base Final Fantasy 15 game is 100 gigabytes. Which is already a lot. The high resolution texture pack is 155 gigabytes.
That's a couple gigs.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, go big or go home, I guess.
No, I don't have the space for that.
Go BitConnect. I got space for days.
It's funny, like the graphics pack, the graphics card requirement for the high resolution texture pack is just a 1080. It's like you don't need it. So that is a total of 255 gigabytes, which puts Nabishin's. Either way, you would have won Nabishin. So Nabishin's bet of 100 gigabytes, right on the money. That brings Team Nanashi up to a total of 6 points. Team BitConnect still rocking hard, 2 points.
Dude, that's all we need.
I'm here for you guys. That's it. Nabishin, you've won Danny Juarez's love and affection. Tilda's up for grabs again next week. But you've also won the final word to kind of say anything you might have disagreed with or reiterate anything you want to. Here in this moment now, do you have any final words? Without interruption. It's worth also clarifying.
I don't remember what we talked about. Oh, I think I got something.
Okay.
I think for Days Gone to be successful, it needs to be in a space by itself. So essentially, like if it comes out in the first year of like in the first half of 2019, like I said, if it comes out around March, I think the game will be fine. But if it comes out any later than that, where it can have its own space to breathe and like actually show off what it is, I think that game will be in trouble. But in order for it to succeed, because it's going to show off at that E3 again, and a lot of people are very meh on the game in general. It seems too cookie cutter for what it is. Not cookie cutter as far as like what it's doing, but like cookie cutter cookie cutter as far as like what it's presenting itself to be. And I think you need to really separate that aspect from it to be something special. And that's it.
There you go. That's the show. Thanks for coming on again.
That's
Mike.
the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude.
Good time.
Excited for the shenanigans we're gonna get up to.
Yeah, man.
In hashtag content making.
Content making, PAX East, inning.
It'll be the whole Monty.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's throw this bad boy out. Thank you, Danny Wiesner, for opening music of Two-Player Co-op. Our closing music of The World is Saved. Just one quick time, I want to thank again Micah E. Wood, my good friend, for the opening and closing music of To Get Acquainted. Did a really great job doing that. It's exclusive to that show. Very cool. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for tuning in, watching along with us. It's been fun. And thank you, Tony. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Nabishin, for joining me, as always. Big hugs all the way around. I have been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games. Stay irrational. We will talk to you all next week.
Tails.
Mike, I want you to make sure you keep recording until I say to stop.
Okay, I'm still recording.
Great. Hit me with some titles, Tony.
Video games are cool. Peace. Hey man, we all die. It's either kill yourself or get killed. If you want to see Scott in the shower, you gotta subscribe to Premium. Waluigi gun. 0. Take a token to the spank bank. Tony's pen attempt. Black Ops fence. Google search Masahiro Sakurai. And Scott Nino Kuni 2 is coming to PC.
Just
Thanks.
another friendly reminder.
You're welcome.
It's only 2 more weeks of this, so don't worry.
All I'll say is if Waluigi gun is used as this title this week, you must use that picture of a Waluigi with a gun in the actual Irrational Passions podcast to picture you make.
Listen, man. I've done worse things. I've put horstachios on people before.
Won't be the last time that he does.
It's true. Man. I like Black Ops Fence. It's really stuck with me. I think it's a fucking good bit. What do you like, Mike?
Yeah, Black Ops Fence was pretty good. I always like the Vine references, so we all die. It's a very good Vine. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Tony.
I like the friendly reminder to Scott.
We already used it.
We
Can't
used
do
it last week.
Oh, see, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it's
I still think it's a good title.
It was also very funny then. It's still very funny.
Yeah, I still think it's a good title.
Yeah, it's a good.
That gets my vote.
It'd be really great if it was just the title 2 weeks in a row. I don't want to do that, but Nabishin, what do you like?
Black Ops Fence is good.
Scott.
What if we had a new one?
Okay.
All right. Title is, hey, Scott, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
That's it? There's no...
That's it.
You never actually guess anything? It's just what?
Oh, no, that'll be the other part. But that's the title.
Okay. Oh, man, I really like Black Ops Fence. This is the thing.
I mean, we could still do Black Ops Fence.
I'm feeling really good about it. We got 2 official votes for Black Ops Fence. I feel like it is...
I mean, we have 2 official votes for Black Ops Fence, and we have 1 vote for something different. I'm pretty sure it wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's how voting works.
Shit.
That is how voting works.
Is that the Electoral College vote?
Jesus.
It's still too soon, huh? Hey, man, I'm down with it. Although I could do a real good drawing of a Black Ops Fence. Just gonna let y'all know. Mike.
Yes.
I want you to say a phrase for me.
What's up? What do you got? What do you got?
And we'll do Scott's bit. I'm gonna type it up here at the top.
Oh, in the chat?
No, in the title section. It's at the bottom of the Google Doc.
Oh, okay.
Do it.
Also, happy 369, guys. We've not only done 169.
We are a meme. 369.
Yeah. This is technically our fourth 69, but it's 369.
It's the best 69. It's all that matters.
It's true. 3 people 69ing, you know.
Oh, I know.
Dude, also speaking of 69ing, that fucking new Ninja Sex Party song is
Wait, which one?
Orgy for One.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
It's a club banger. 69ing without the 9. It's so good. God, that music video is fucking good.
It's real good.
Anyway.
I didn't know it was out.
Oh, you should check it out, Scott.
I'm listening into it right after this.
Hell yeah. It's this one that I have highlighted here.
Okay.
In whatever voice you want to do, if you want to, you do you, boo boo.
Okay. You're listening to Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 369. Blah, blah.
Hey, Scott, guess what?
Nino 2 is coming to PC?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Nino 2. You can stop recording now.
Dude, I like the little stank that you put on it there.
Yeah, it was a lot of stank. You did. It was like basically.
It smelled right, dude.
It was your rap call. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good evening. I'm gonna go play Sea of Thieves. I don't know why I told all of you watching, but that's the thing.